Hello, everybody. Good evening. El Sancho is here. Welcome to Sancho Sunday, the only place you should be on Sundays, the only cool place to be on Sundays. El Sancho, we are covering a very popular subject on YouTube and Facebook and social media, the predator hunting genre, Predator Poachers, CC Unit, Pop Squad, Ryan LaForge, everything. We got Murder Merc coming on. Team Morris, I'm hoping to hear from. Sasha Crane has already joined us. I'm super, super excited. But I want to play you guys like one of the big things that got me really freaking wanting to do this. Really excited to do this. And I'm gonna share that with y'all now. And then we will discuss it. We're waiting to hear from Team Morris as well, coming on. Todd, supposed to be on tonight, we hope.
So here's the children. Look at this is one, and then that's the other one.
Alex is a predator. He uses underage kids' pictures. Those are younger photos of them, of course.
More kids that they're using.
I know you guys got into the Discord server and had seen fucking photos. Those were used. They all had permission from their parents.
As long as Alex busts pedophiles, none of them fucking care.
We'll say that they're 18 though.
None of them. Even that fucking organization, the Predator Poachers, that entire fucking organization.
I'm about to try these girl decoy photos on Kick. And then look, hold on. I need more male decoys. I factory reset my burner phones, going to take them down to a casino Wi-Fi that I haven't been on before to upload Grindr. And then look, here's PP Mass uploading a child. So Dibberville, Josh can use. And then look, there's another one that he's uploading. Look, there's some more. I'll be asking for decoys Monday when I put out videos. We'll share if successful. And then look at PP Mass still uploading these photos. Thank you. This one's going to help a lot. Doesn't this sound disgusting? This one's going to help so much. And then PP Mass, no problem. I need more decoy. One more decoy male. They're not taking the Mexican kid for some reason on Grindr. Are there like 1 to 2 more photos of the female decoys? Look, they're all asking for pictures of these kids. Mass, you said to prove it, I'm proving it. Prove me wrong. And then look, here's some more kids that they're posting in here. Here's some more kids that they're sharing to bait in predators that they talk to. When it really comes down to it, Alex is way worse than fucking Rami. And all those poachers over there, they could side with Alex.
Alex ain't racist, man. Alex ain't racist, bro. Is Carlos Mencia racist? All these comedians that talk about race, are they racist?
What about Alex's racism? I'm not even gonna speak.
Look, let me tell you guys this. Like, I'm Japanese. He makes Japanese jokes all the time. Like, you guys
You can't tell me no different. I know what you're talking to. You're video chatting with minors, bro. There's Alex again. Look at him, how weird he looks. What the fuck? What did we just find, you guys? Wow.
Zoom in on his face. Zoom in on his face.
Why?
So Alex, so he can't say it's not him.
Not only will there be people that are willing to ignore it, there are people willing to endorse it. Every last one of those motherfuckers at the Predator Poachers organization are complicit. None of them will stand up to Alex. None of them.
Wow. Awesome editing. Awesome video. Awesome trailer. Awesome. We're waiting for Murder Merc. Sasha, if you have any contact of Murder Merc, please touch base to make sure you remind him about this interview spot tonight. Arizona, if you want to come on the panel, please do. I will post it right here. I will be limited on who I bring on the panel. Sasha is a expert on predator poachers, and I wanted to start off, Sasha. What got you started following this movement? You know, I know we kind of have met on the other side of another movement. Where did you start, Sasha? What got you interested in this movement?
So, pretty much, my expertise comes in from a, I guess, putting together portfolios on scammers and presenting it to district attorneys and detectives to try to formulate some sort of criminal charge. So I originally started with the Predator movement over on Facebook with Shane Coyle, who is the person that I feel like is responsible for bringing this nonsense to the United States. And he did some stuff, and I could no longer support it. At first, I was behind it. Then I started seeing the shady shit that goes on with predator hunters, and I'm not. And when I'm speaking in general. I'm not speaking that everybody's like this, but it's my opinion that it's a lot of shady shit that goes on with predator hunters. And so
I think the predator poachers, if you want to start predator poachers, let's start there. I came onto watching because, number one, he wore a JP Losman jersey everywhere he went, like literally, and I'm a Bills fan, so I like that. I like JP. I mean, I don't like him anymore. He was a waste of a first-round draft pick. It's a whole other story. But this dude was literally walking around, and he brought a comedic side to doing this. But then it went to like medium to extremely well done. Can you talk about Alex, the founder of Predator? You know, where did he come from? How did he get inspired to get involved in this? And what's your take on him as a whole?
So I don't know a lot about Alex. I don't know a lot about the story of how he got started in this. Any of that. I can't speak on what I know about him. I know that there's videos out there surfacing around the internet of Alex saying that he can do whatever he wants to do because he's a predator hunter. He takes there's one thing to be a comedian. There's another thing to be a predator catcher, whatever you want to call yourself. But the two don't mix. There's nothing funny about child victims. There's nothing funny about felonies. There's nothing funny about you know, any of what they're trying to expose, what they're doing. There's nothing funny about it. They took it to a whole new level when they started using real minors as decoys. Where they sort of using real minors as decoy photos. They take it to a whole nother level when it comes, to asking for money. And I mean, there's one thing if you need some gas money, but there's a whole nother thing when you need $2,000 for some brakes. And Alex, like, you just he says I have a video of him running through a red light. Now, look, it's just a petty misdemeanor, running a red light, traffic violation. But how are you supposed to be out here trying to tell these men that you're catching that are alleged child predators that they need to be following the law when you're out here getting DUIs and running red lights and doing whatever? You know what I mean?
I see a pattern with First Amendment auditors in this movement. I see people with a checkered past prior getting into this to follow the money. Am I out of line here?
You're absolutely correct.
So what person that is doing this is cooperating with the police? And then after you answer, I'm going to ask Officer Oak pretty much what is his take on these rogue vigilantes, and would a police department be receptive to somebody who is working with the police? But Sasha, let's answer the first question. Who do you like out there that is cooperative with the police and that are doing the right thing?
I mean, I know of one guy that works with the police. His name is Anthony Green. He's from Facebook. A lot of people don't like him. I don't know a lot about him, but he does get arrested. But I'm against this whole thing altogether. Like, that's my stance. My stance says there's no right or wrong way. Any way that you do it is a wrong way, and it should be handled by law enforcement, the people that have the authority to arrest people, the people that have the authority to conduct investigations. It shouldn't be handled by, felons and drug addicts exposing other people committing felonies. It shouldn't be done. I'm against the whole thing altogether.
Oak?
I mean, let's face it, right? Like, Josh Abrams is better than a pedophile, and he's pretty shitty. There are some pretty horrible people out there that are better than pedophiles. So it's not a hard thing to do. It's not hard to be better than a pedophile. But now when you take those people who are better than pedophiles, does their word stand up in court? No. Not really. I mean, can you really take what they're saying? They may have video evidence and this and that, but all that can be faked, and this stuff it's not, you can get arrested, but you might not get convictions. You might just be giving these guys a test run.
How reckless do you think, Oak, it is for these vigilantes to be out there doing what they're doing, and how dangerous is it as well?
It's probably really dangerous. I mean, these guys, so they're there for a video, but these guys, they're fighting to get their video, their content. The other guy on the other end of the picture, he's fighting for his freedom. At least what he perceives. He may see your phone as potential evidence, whether you're live or not, and decide, oh, I have to kill you for it.
I want to share this. I want to get everyone's thoughts. Martin Merck is joining us any moment now. Just messaged me. Predator Poachers Mass identifies the wrong man. And I want to get Officer Oak's opinion and then Sasha's opinion after this, after I pause it.
I know who you are. What's your name? Me? Yeah, what's your name? Mike, that's your name? Can you just do me a favor real quick? I'm not a police officer, right? I'm not a cop.
Yeah.
So I can't detain you or nothing. But can I ask you a couple of questions?
I mean, are you filming me?
Yeah, I'd have to do it for my safety. Can I ask you some questions though? All right. Well, basically, can I see your? Do you mind if I see your phone? Do you have Meet Me app on your phone?
Meet me app? No.
Yeah. Can you show me that, please?
Show you what?
You don't have Meet Me on your phone.
I think so. No.
You can't show me you have Meet Me. You're trying to delete it, but I screen record everything, bud.
What?
Do you have Meet Me on your phone? Be honest.
Meet me?
Yeah.
No.
The app. Go to your apps.
It's everything.
So it's usually a boyfriend-girlfriend deal. That's his
It's
girlfriend.
the decoy phone right now. I'm gonna text his phone. Text his thing.
What is this? What's this about?
Just can you text the Meet Me?
I have
Can you go to the
time
apps?
for this shit? Like, what's this about?
Listen, can you just show me the app and you go to your
I
apps?
don't have to show you. That is my app.
I mean, I can call the cops if that's
What do you
what I
call
need to
the
do.
cops for?
Because I have the whole chat log. So do you want to just show me and we could talk about this?
Meet me what? I don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to detox right now.
Let me see that picture. Show me that picture. Pull that picture up real quick.
Why would you take that camera out of my face?
It's
dude?
legal. I can
give a fuck
record.
what it is, dude. Like, you're sitting here filming.
Well, listen. Someone's here to meet a 14-year-old girl, okay?
It's not me, bro.
Listen, I'm just telling you. I caught a
Hand to God, dude.
44.
I do time. Like, I don't fuck with that kind of shit. Like, I'm going to detox right now.
All right.
I would fucking love to hit a fucking catch a Skinner on the block and fucking rip his fucking head off.
You don't drive, right? Hell no.
No.
That's what I'm saying. That can't be him. You don't drive.
Destroyed. I just relapsed like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, well, don't stop destroying your life, man.
Now this fucking kid's on answer the phone.
There you go. There you go. What do you guys think about that, Officer Oak? We'll start with you.
If I was an attorney, like a DA, or not a DA, if I was like a defense attorney, that would be the video I would play for every one of their cases. And I would
He's
play,
known. His claim of fame is getting the police chief, Sasha, if you can throw the city my way, somewhere in Massachusetts, arrested.
So,
In Hull, was it Hull? Hull, yeah. Hull, Massachusetts.
so
Oh, I stole
So-
S-T-O-W? Stow? Yeah.
yeah.
He goes out of his way and tells everybody he meets that he got the police chief arrested. And these are what they do, you know? I mean, what's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on this, Crane?
I mean, that's a perfect example right there of why this shouldn't be done. There are some groups out there. There's a guy, Dirty South Justice, Chad, wonderful guy. I really like Chad. Police won't work with him. But one thing I could say about Chad is when he goes and meets somebody, he knows everything there is to know about that person plus more. Jason Velasquez, which is Massachusetts, walked up to that random guy, accused him of being a pedophile, and put this guy's picture out for, I don't know how many live viewers were there, but I imagine it was quite a few. So, somebody see that video, and what happens if that man gets attacked when he walked away? Who's going to be held responsible for that? Because it would be Jason's fault for putting that man out for being a pedophile when it's the wrong person. It's reckless. It's absolute reckless. And you hear the guys like, can you just not put me on video? And he's like, it's legal. That's First Amendment speech right there. It's legal. I can record. Well, sure, you can record, but you clearly have the wrong person. I mean, to me, there should have been some type of, press release or something done to say that that's the wrong man.
All right, well, kind of want to go to Canada for a few minutes with you guys. I was watching Surrey Creek Catches for a while. I was watching Ryan LaForge for a while, and there was a lot of controversy with that. There was an individual who killed themselves after they were shown on YouTube and exposed, and it was bad. It was really bad, and it happens multiple places. I can relate to, I think it was Pop Squad. They were doing a catch on someone in a wheelchair. And that was pretty interesting. You know, have you guys been have you been following the creep catchers movement in Canada, Sasha, at all?
I'm familiar with it. I'm not terribly familiar with it, but I've heard stories and stuff.
Yeah, it's you know what it is, guys. It's a shock jock. It's everybody wants to see predators go down, and I've seen everybody do it on YouTube, where they go out of their, you know, on Facebook and YouTube, where they go out of their way and, you know, do what this guy just did, you know, pretty much wanting to expose it. There's a big guy on Facebook now who's a trucker who drives around in his, you know, big wheel truck and does it too. It is a strong movement. How many people do you think? Because what I'm looking at now with the poachers, the big thing about the poachers now is Ramy versus Alex. Is it true that Ramy gets more donations and more followers than Alex, who the president of the group?
Oh yeah, he does. I mean, that's absolutely true. But if you go watch a lot of Ramy's stuff, he'll title his video "Live Catch Happening Now," and then he's sitting in a car for 6 hours begging for money, and then he'll get a 20-second drive off or you know, something like that. To the point that, and I have these chat logs that I set somebody out to find his decoy on the Grinder app and start talking to it. He was so desperate because it was already 5:30 in the morning to get a catch that the decoy was now magically 16 years old. There was no sexual talk. And the whole time he's live, I'm gonna expose this pedo. You know, to me, an adult meeting a 16-year-old, is that weird? Yes. Is it pedophilic? No, it's not. It's not against the law in New Jersey. And you know, and that's where, if you want to advocate for children and advocate for victims of this, then you need to be going to, you know, your state capital and lobbying for state laws to change. Going to Washington D.C. and lobbying for federal laws to change. That's how you get change. You don't get change by throwing a camera in somebody's face on YouTube for likes, clicks, follows, and donations. You nobody can say I can't take you serious.
Talk about the police side of things, Officer Oak, and how active are the police with investigations, undercover sting operations? How active are the police, do you think, on these apps, on these dating apps, on these grinder apps, looking for these predators?
I mean, it depends on where you're at. It's usually the department. I mean, you've got a lot of things, a lot of different crime, and it's not like regular beat officers are out there making Tinder apps and trying to catch these people. You know, the only time that I've really done it is when, you know, parents call me and they say, "Hey, my 10-year-old kid is talking to some like 35-year-old dude on the internet," you know, and then we take over and we set up a sting. But that doesn't mean that people in my department aren't, you know, doing, you know, more direct things in the detective division and stuff like that. But but you know, it's not, there's not that many of them. You know, it costs a lot of money to train them. There's a lot of, it's not an easy job, you know. There, when you go to court, you have to be able to prove things definitively. You know, these guys aren't going to be able to do that. I don't know if any of these guys have ever gotten a conviction. If they did, it was probably by luck.
Sasha, do you know anyone who's gotten a conviction? If so, throw that person out there. You know.
No, none of them have got convictions. And you know, this is the thing. you can get somebody to when somebody goes to court and they take a plea deal and they plead guilty. I don't know. I guess by default that is a conviction. To me, a true. I really want to see somebody challenge this, take this to trial, because I just think and a defense attorney will eat all of this up, and but to my knowledge, no, none of them have convictions. Rami will say he has convictions. Rami will say he has arrest. He had one guy detained, but we were speaking with the detective, and the guy was released on unfounded, and there was not enough evidence to substantiate a charge. So the prosecutor denied charges, but to my knowledge, none of them have any convictions.
Here's the echoing statement, and anyone please correct me if I'm wrong. These groups are essentially stating police are not doing enough. Police either don't have the manpower or do not care. That's why we're doing it. Am I wrong saying that?
Yeah, the same people are saying defund the police.
Right. Now, is that the echo in the statement throughout this genre? I think it is, right? They think the police aren't doing enough, and then the kicker has my boy Bucket says the kicker is they don't get the police involved. They instead gather everything, do the expose for the world to see, and you know what? If the police get in touch base with us, we'll give them the information. That's pretty much the attitude around here, right?
Right, and this is the kicker for me. Don't sit and scream. The police don't have the manpower. The police don't have the funds. When you're not taking your ass to a city council meeting and pushing the city council or the county council or whatever to allocate more funding for that. So don't scream that it's a problem when you're not trying to do anything to fix the problem.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if they want more people to be doing it, they need money to do it. They need to go advocate for funds to be allocated to the police department for that purpose.
Can we get to the infant stage of what makes a predator? I mean, what makes a predator? I mean, in my opinion, it's kind of like a roller coaster. They get abused, then they want to abuse kids because they get abused. Am I wrong, Sasha, in that echoing statement?
From my background, that's a true statement. A lot of people convicted of child crimes that I've came in contact with throughout my life, they were in fact a victim as a child.
Now, I'm going to play this video, and I want to get your
It's a group of
opinions.
teens shaming grown men who they accuse of trying to meet up with young boys.
Video of him allegedly trying to meet a child for a sexual encounter was sent to HPD. It was all done by a group of teens who called themselves the Predator Poachers. Take a look.
Okay, so I'll be honest about the decoy pics. So one of the decoy pics, the Hispanic boy that we use, that's my cameraman's little cousin. And the white decoy that we use, he's 17. And yeah, I met him on PS4. We're playing Madden together, and he said he was down to do it. So
how old is the Latin guy, the kid?
He is 16.
So you have two minors that you use as decoys.
Yes. Okay. And who are they coming for? Like supposedly?
He's coming for this innocent young child.
13, 14, 13. Oh damn. That's big. Yeah.
He's the guy. So my usual camera and Alfredo, that's his little cousin. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't just look at little boys online.
So, what laws, Officer Oak, if any, were broken with what they're doing with these minors and the pictures with the minors? Any laws broken? Houston, Texas.
I haven't seen the pictures. Are they?
They
Just
do it all over,
pictures?
Sasha, though, like the Florida group, the Massachusetts group. So this is just one state. So the biggest question is, what can you do as law enforcement with this going on?
Is Sasha talking? Because I can't hear.
No, she's on mute. No, I'm mute.
Oh, okay. With the predator poachers thing, I haven't seen their pictures.
Well, the
I guess-
photos, like the Discord, like two trailers I showed, two videos I showed it. Minors being exchanged. The owner of Predator Poachers admitting that there's minors. It's pretty much a meat market on Discord for photos to use to catch more predators and expose more people because it's more money for them. So they're essentially, I don't want to say the word file sharing. I mean, like, correct me, Sasha, if I'm wrong. But they're essentially file sharing minors on Discord all over the internet.
It's morally wrong. I think. Are they just pictures of them, or are they like sexual pictures?
Sasha, do you know about the sexual part? I only know
I've never seen any sexual pictures. I know it's pictures of minors that are current minors. Like the little Spanish kid, his picture's been blasted all over the internet. But that's the kid that Rami uses in New Jersey, which is supposedly Alex's camera guy's little cousin. But when I called Rami out for using that picture because he was saying that Alex uses minors, and I called Rami out for using that picture, all of a sudden Rami goes, "Well, they're not minors." I mean, which is it? You're contradicting yourself because I called you out for using the exact same picture.
Merck, welcome to the panel.
So, hey, what's up, guys?
In the scam baiting world, we call them ITPs, which are innocent third parties. And our ethos is like we don't expose any innocent third parties, which that would be, if you're using somebody's cameraman's little brother or whatever, his little brother is obviously too young to say that he wants to be used as a some sort of piece of meat to be circulated around the internet to try to catch these guys. I mean, I don't think it's illegal, but I think it's like morally wrong. I mean, say his little brother has a Facebook using that picture, and they do a reverse image search, and then they find his real little brother's picture and account.
It's Merck, what's your take on the file sharing Discord minors? What's your take
You can't
on
use minors in any sexual manner. It's against the law. So that means if you take a minor's photo, say a baby that's naked, and you send it out in a sexual manner, that's now child porn. It's illegal. So if they're taking pictures of children and they're using them to flirt with predators online, you're now using that child as a sexual manner when he has his t-shirt off. So that is illegal. You know, when you have a minor at a sting house and he's taking off his shirt and taking off his pants and shit, that's in a sexual manner. You know, you're using a minor to lure in predators.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that extent. If they're doing that, then that
You know,
Merc is knee deep in this. This is why I'm so
if
glad
you
Merc's on.
if you tell a minor, you know, send me a picture with your shirt off so you can send it to a predator, that's in a sexual manner. Now you're using that child in a sexual manner.
yeah, you're
Regardless,
enticing a child for the purpose of sexual.
exactly. You understand? You can't, because if it wasn't illegal, they would just use it as a loophole. They would just film everything when everybody was a child and then wait 10 years for them to be adults and then drop the shit on the internet. You understand? Like, you can't use, even if I can't use pictures of me when I'm 15 to learn predators. Like, you can't do it.
How long have you been following this movement? Did you start with Poachers, or have you been following this whole movement from? I've been following since Brian LaForge, since the creep catching movement.
I've been around since the shit popped off like 2.5 years ago now.
Mm-hmm. So what got your interest in it? Did you start off as a supporter? A lot of these First Amendment auditors, they start off supporting. Okay.
I've never really had any real interest in it. It's just a lot of people that I've been around have became predator hunters and started their own pages, but you know, it's never been one of my interests. I don't watch predator hunters like that. I've just happened to be around a lot and know a lot that have grown into big pages. You know, I know a whole bunch of them: Shane Coyle, Jesse Weeks, Tony Blas.
Those are the ones you like.
Green, Chad Greta, you know, like there's a whole bunch of. It doesn't mean I like them all, but
what do you like about their style that they do? What separates that group from this other group that clearly is not doing it the way it should be done?
You know,
there's not a lot that separates them from.
No, like that's like 90% of predator hunters are fucking scumbags. You know, and they do it. A lot of them, I've watched them. A lot of them, you know, like for Jay, Massachusetts, for instance, he wanted to be an IRL streamer in real life, where he blogged his whole life. You know, he flopped on that, so he became a predator hunter. You know, there's plenty of guys I could speak on that were nobodies before they became predator hunters, and it's just a quick way to get views and build a page and get attention. You know, they're not doing a lot of these people. They say they're doing it for the right reason, but they're not. You know, I've watched like KSI. He's another one. He fucking started off doing it, and then he started selling shirts, and now he has a podcast on his predator hunting channel. You know, it's just a door for them to get in. I feel like they use it as. They don't use it like to expose predators. They're using it for their own personal gain.
How and this is a question for Sabrina first, and then Merc take it after. How predatorial are these predators on people's emotions? Because everyone hates.
That's what they do. They feed off of victims.
Right.
Predator hunting feeds off of victims, where, you know, a lot of these people that watch them are victims. So, you know, they get wrapped all around it because they feel like they're confronting the person that victimized them, I guess I would say. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they get wrapped into it, and they don't realize these people, they're doing it for money. Like predator poachers, for sure, 100% is doing it for money. I can't speak for all the other predator hunters, but I know 100% predator poachers, they do it for money and views and clicks. You know, it's not. They don't even know who they're busting most of the time. They don't know their name or anything. Like you heard I watched what's his bust the other day, Central Florida and OTR and the new guy that they got, North Carolina, and he's like, I'll look them up on white pages. Like, they're barely learning about white pages and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people they're just fake. Where did they come from? That's my question. Where did they come from? What's their history? Like, why do you want to be a predator hunter? You know, like there's so many things. Like, they just come out of the woodworks. And I
think it's also important.
Hold on, Sasha. And another thing too is, like, you guys don't even know these people, but You're acting like he's the big savior and he just came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, who the fuck is this guy? Like how they got the North Carolina. Oh, because he was in the military. Everybody's supposed to suck him off now, you know? Like, I don't know him. What's his background like? You know? Who are these people?
Sancho, I sent you the law for child enticement.
Applicable
You wanted
federal
to read
law
it.
states that it is against the law for an individual to attempt or to actually use the mail or any type of communication medium to knowingly coerce, entice, induce, or persuade an individual below the age of 18 to engage in prostitution or any sexual activity or inappropriate touching with which an individual can be charged with a criminal offense. In many cases, the perceived language that is used in the online conversation. As a result, individuals are highly advised to be cautious about their behavior. Man, I can't read that while I'm high, but I'm doing the best I can. But I did.
Basically, when you read these things, you got to read them literally.
Yeah.
So where it says or, so like or persuade an individual below the age of 18 to engage in prostitution or any sexual activity. So or any sexual activity, not and sexual activity. So or.
And they're using the children as decoys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I can see that loosely. I still think it would be more on the lines of morality. I don't know how it would hold up in court, but
Have they made an example out of somebody for doing this yet, or no?
No.
So they're still doing this as we speak.
I don't know what they're doing right now, but last time they told me they weren't doing it no more, and then I caught them doing it, you know? I got into their Discord, and they were doing all kinds of weird shit in there. So
I was in
I don't take nothing past them. Like, they're a bunch of liars.
I was in CC Unit's Discord once, and there was this guy in there, and he had this. I had an argument with him, and he had this picture of like it was like a cartoon, like child, like sexual position. It was kind of disturbing, and I had said, "What are you into, lolly or some shit?" And he said, "Well, yes, I am." And I was like, "What the fuck? Like, so what's this guy doing here?" So lolly is like cartoon child pornography. Baffles me that exists, but like what the fuck was that guy doing in that chat?
Well, before I lose my train of thought, I think it's important to note that they take in all this money, but none of them have a valid 501c3 nonprofit organization where they actually, help childhood victims or help change laws or help advocate. Like none of them, they take this money in and they put it in their pocket. They don't. It's not tax deductible. It's not charitable. Nothing about what they do is charitable. There's nothing charitable. If it was charitable, then they would have a 501c3 where they could apply for grants and take money in and do all this stuff. They would be registered on state lobby registries. And I mean, nothing they do is charitable. It's profit for them, which is why Predator Poachers has a LLC and not a INC. And because you have to have an INC, a incorporation, to be a 501c3. But I mean, if they were, I might could lay off a little bit of the money fact if they were an actual nonprofit organization that actually did charitable stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean the most I've seen from them was CC Unit was talking about getting some sort of. He was trying to. It never came to fruition. He was trying to get some sort of counseling for child victims of sexual abuse, through some local therapy or
Nobody
therapy
wants
clinic.
to work with these punk ass kids. Don't you see what the shit that they do on the internet? Like, if you were a cop, would you want to work with some punk ass kid chasing people throughout the mall and shit?
He is a cop.
In the parking lot?
He is a cop.
Oh, he is a cop?
Yep, he's a cop.
I am a cop. Yeah, no, I wouldn't, because I mean,
We're in a safe
it's
zone,
a
though. I'm
liability.
smoking weed. It's okay.
Yeah, like, how are you going to present that in court when you show this fool, like, running through the fucking parking lot and shit as, like, any police department, They're going to be embarrassed.
Do we know Peggy Lou? Does anyone know Peggy Lou on the panel?
Yeah, we know Peggy.
Yeah, good. I just don't want to get porn bombed That's all. I don't want to get porn bombed.
No, that wouldn't happen.
Well, God forbid someone from one of these groups want to shut this show down by porn bombing us. I mean,
And that's the
No,
other problem that I have is that they tell people don't leave, you can't leave, or they physically will block the egress point for somebody to leave. At that point, to me, and Oak could correct me if I'm wrong, but to me, at that point, if you're telling somebody you're free to leave, but you have the door blocked and blocking their egress, or you tell somebody you can't leave or don't leave, or whatever, if you leave, I'm calling the cops or something like that. To me, that's a form of false imprisonment, and you don't have a right to detain anybody.
No, I can agree with that because I mean, look at it with law enforcement. If you say you stop somebody and you don't have, probable cause to make an arrest or detain, if you don't have probable cause or reasonable articulable suspicion, all you're doing is making a voluntary contact. And you say, "Hey, I noticed you were walking around. Can I see your ID?" And they say no. And I say, "Well, I'm gonna put you in handcuffs, but you're free to leave." Well, how the fuck is he free to leave? He's in handcuffs. Yeah, perception is key. If I perceive if you're saying that I'm free to leave, but I don't feel free to leave, but if you leave, then I'm gonna call the police and you're gonna go to jail. Like that. Like I'm gonna threaten you if you
they
leave,
lie
but
to
you
them.
can leave. So I mean, I guess you're not really free to leave at that point.
Well, one thing I was wanting to tell y'all, um, whenever we were doing all the work in New York, I personally spoke to the sex crimes department detective. He's the one that we always worked with. And it is illegal, 100% illegal, to do what they're doing and use pictures of children that are actually still children. Um, the only pictures that we could use is adults that look like children, that look really young. And we also were not allowed to do any sexual talk. The perverts could, but we couldn't. And they're doing all kinds of nasty sexual talk. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Chad, get
mean,
up here in the box.
walk
What's
us
up?
through. So like, hey,
What's up, Peggy?
so like, you've done these before, like Peggy Lou, correct?
Yes.
Walk us through the research. Walk us through
Oh,
like an average catch. Walk us through morning to night, what the process works, and what you think and how successful it works for.
we would we would go make a profile. Meet me and Tagged were the two main places that I went. I would say I was 18. I would post pictures of an adult that looked, 15, 16 years old, and just put on there, I'm just bored. Anybody want to chat? And immediately, I mean, gosh, sometimes there would be 50 guys within 10 minutes messaging you. And within the first two or three things that we would say to them, we would tell them, my thing was, I would go, "How old are you?" And they would tell me, and I'd go, "Oh, well, maybe we shouldn't talk." And they would ask why. And I'm like, "Well, I'm really 15. I'm just on here because I'm bored." And about half of the guys would be like, "You really shouldn't be on here. Get off of here. It's not safe." They would go away, and I would have to be really careful with them because they would actually turn me in and get me kicked out of there. So as soon as they would tell me to get off there, I would block them so they couldn't see me anymore. Um, but the other half, oh no, it was just disgusting. You tell them you're 15 years old. I mean, it's instantly, "Have you ever had sex before?" I'm like, "No." "Have you had a boyfriend?" "Well, yeah, I had a boyfriend, but we just go to the movies, or I've been living with my aunt because my mom's I always made up a story. My mom's in prison, and um, and they groom you. They would just keep asking you things and asking you things, and you can answer them, but like you can't talk dirty to them. if they can talk dirty to you and you go, what does that mean? I don't understand what you're talking about. You have to play so incredibly innocent, especially during that time. We were trying so hard to get convictions. We were
Hold on
turning
one second.
everything.
I don't want to cut you off, but can someone jump
Okay.
off the panel? I want to bring someone on.
Hey, I'm gonna jump off.
Okay.
I gotta hit the hay. I gotta wake up at 4.
Want to get both sides discussing predator groups. I want to bring in Predator Poachers Toronto. Thank you so much for accepting my invite and hopping on tonight.
Yeah, what's up?
We wanted to discuss your style approach to doing this and how you got into this whole method and this whole like movement. What inspired you to hop into this and walk us through your style and what separates you from maybe some other members of the Poachers group?
I mean, I think we all do relatively the same. I mean, we all catch predators in public. I mean, it's nothing revolutionary, but I mean, I got into it on YouTube, but yeah.
Do you feel like there needs to be some kind of meticulous training or approach before getting into it, or is there even a playbook out there on how to do this the right way?
Yeah, I mean, I guess generally don't get sexual first. Always tell them your age near the beginning of the conversation. I mean, basically let them initiate it. If they're a predator, they're a predator. You don't have to make them a predator. Yeah, I mean, so that's literally, if you follow that, I mean, there's no wrong way to catch a predator unless you're doing it completely wrong. You know,
Was Canada the first hotbed? I know Ryan LaForge is from Canada, and creep catchers in Surrey. Is that where you first gotten, kind of interested in the whole movement in Canada? And if so,
No.
how competitive is Canada with this movement, if at all?
I don't know of anybody else other than Justin Payne that's still catching predators. And I mean, he doesn't do really any catches anymore. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'd never actually seen them. I don't watch Pop Squad, any of those big groups.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw Predator Poachers and got into it, and he was looking for new people, so I hit him up. But
hey, Sancho, I want to point something out.
How
You
much
said
do you pay?
You don't get sexual first.
Sasha, I'm not talking
He
about
does. I've caught him. He be flirting with them on his live on Instagram and shit. The ones that he don't catch, he'll sit there and flirt.
the ones I don't catch. What are you talking about, Mark?
Yeah.
How
The one in Australia that you were flirting with?
The girl I was flirting with?
The one in Australia that you were flirting with.
I'm not trying to set him up or anything to get ganged on, but if you guys
I don't want to get gangbanged, please.
No, it's not going to gangbang, but if someone has a legitimate professional question, they can feel free to ask.
Nah, he a clout chaser.
Okay.
No, I
Well,
just
my
wanted to point out
question.
the fact that he stated, I don't
Come
get
on, dude.
sexual with them first.
I didn't
My
get sexual
question
with them
is,
first. Absolutely not.
would you do it if you weren't getting paid off of it?
Yeah, of course I would.
Why do you monetize everything then? Why do you have to censor your videos?
Merc, just because you don't make money doesn't mean I can't make money, okay? Calm down.
How challenging is it if something like, let's just say Remy or
Money don't lead me.
Hold on,
money
Merc,
leads
I'm talking
you.
to the other guy. Merc,
Hold
I'm
on,
talking
Merc.
to the other
Hold
guy.
on.
Calm down.
How challenging is it if something Alex or like Remy, they fuck up, they do something wrong? How difficult is it for you, because it makes the group look bad? How challenging is it for you to get your word out there that, hey, I'm me, they're them? Is there a challenge of that at all?
No, I mean, I don't have anybody hitting me up saying, yo, what are you doing? Because I see Alex doing this. Nobody hits me up. I mean, I'm a separate channel. We do our own thing.
There's clearly an opposition. There's clearly a group out there that are. How shocking was that when you got involved with it, or were you aware of it before you got into it, that there was?
Oh, no, I knew that would happen. Oh, no, I knew that would happen. People like to defend predators all the time on the internet. I mean, it's not a new thing. I've seen it all the time. So, I mean, I went into it expecting some people to not like it. But honestly, I don't care. I'm doing it because I think it's good. And I have a large fan base, if you want to call them a fan base, or support, followers, whatever you want to call them, that enjoys it and thinks that it's great that we're exposing these guys. So, I mean, honestly, I don't care if there's haters. I don't care.
It's great that we be exposing you.
How
Google
if you think
Predator
you're exposing me,
Poachers,
that's
you've been
cool.
exposed.
How many
All right, dude.
convictions? How many convictions have you had yet, if any? Or
I haven't been able to get a conviction. I would love it if the police would convict these guys. I used to send reports. It would take half an hour to fill out these reports, and I'd send it into them, and then they acted like they never got the reports. I've spoke to officers. I've spoken to them. and they
Did
just pretend
you
like it doesn't happen.
did you send them the screenshots of all the conversations?
You can't
Oh
work
no,
with the police when you're using children pictures.
I'm literally on Skype right now with my 25-year-old decoy.
How
I don't use children.
what are the how is it worse in Canada as far as the laws and far as getting these people nailed to the wall as opposed to Massachusetts, or is it kind of both the same, or how is it as far as the difference in laws?
I mean, I don't know if it's a difference. I just live in a big city. I mean, Toronto has 6 million people. So it's tough to get convictions when the police have so much other stuff to deal with. I mean, he lives in a decently small town. I mean, Rami lives in a small area, size-wise for population. I mean, Alex lives in Houston. It's the reason why you don't see very many convictions come from him either. The police department is just too big, and their sexual online sex crime unit is not very big. I mean, I think there's like 2 or 3 officers in Toronto, and we have thousands of police officers.
Are you a fan of the flamboyantness of Alex, the way he does
Sure.
things?
It's entertaining.
Because I seen, I think, your McDonald's one when you did it, when you first started doing it, and it wasn't anything like Alex. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Is that correct?
I mean, yeah, I take a different style for sure.
You're calmer, more less
I don't go at the predators. I
confrontational.
don't go for insults. I go for professionalism.
Walk
And I
me
mean, he wants to
through.
go his route, and I mean, it's entertaining.
Walk me through your first time you turned the camera on to do this, and this was go time. How
Yeah, it was
nervous were you, and what have you learned from that?
Oh, the first time, I mean, I didn't even know what to do. It was kind of off the top, because once you get into a conversation, everything you thought about before goes out the window. You don't even think about it anymore, and you have to kind of just think on your feet. I mean, I'm pretty sure everybody's first video was pretty bad compared to 20 videos in, just because you get calm, you kind of know what to say once you kind of go through it a couple times. But I mean, the first time I did it, I sat down. I wasn't scared or anything. I was just nervous because I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if he was going to run, if he was going to get aggressive, if he was just going to sit there and talk. And he ended up standing there and talking. So,
have you ever gotten into a confrontation doing this?
Oh yeah, no, a guy punched me in the shoulder one time. Doing this. He
Did
just
you
got
file charges, assault charges, or no?
No, I tried. Like, I started the process, and it was so much work because they didn't know who he was. There was security camera footage and shit, but I just didn't feel like going through all the legal drama just for pretty much. He wouldn't get sentenced to jail or anything. It was a punch in the shoulder. I didn't get
It's
hurt.
like you don't even know who you're exposing. You just said it. You didn't even know his name. You ain't exposing
I don't know their full
shit.
name. So, Merc, here in Canada, our public records aren't the same, which is the reason why you haven't found me. Okay.
What mistakes have you made so far, and what have you learned from those mistakes?
I wouldn't say I made any mistakes. I've definitely got better. I don't think my first catch was bad. I just think I improved my questioning. I improved everything to do with the catch as I've gone on. I mean, my channel's caught, I think we've passed 50 now, of actual catches that we've done. I mean, every catch, no matter how good you are, you're always going to get better, so.
What happens with these catches? Are they ever convicted? Or is there any
None of mine have been
closure?
convicted, no.
How frustrating
The
is
police
that?
have found interest in some of them. I don't know where the case has gone because it's Canada and we don't get to find out that sort of stuff. If these guys were convicted, I probably wouldn't even know because the police don't. It's not public the same way as it is down in the States. There's no public sex registry list. Like, I don't know who's a sexual predator here because there's no list that's public.
Have you ever mistakenly caught someone that wasn't who you thought they were?
No. I always know who I'm catching. And if I don't know who I'm catching, I'm not going to do the catch because there's no point in me running at some random guy that has nothing to do with it. So when I do a catch, I'm 100% sure on who the guy is.
Do you edit any of your videos?
Yeah, I edit all of them. They're all edited by me.
Have you posted every single catch you've made, or is there something you haven't? And why not?
Depending on the person, depending on the situation. If they were 20 years old and I had to sit down with them, and I think that they are getting better. I mean, I have over 5, 6, 7 guys that are getting help right now, going to therapy. They're checking in with me every week. And I mean, that's the whole goal. It's not to just expose these guys and make money, as some people think. It's to actually get these guys exposed. So if they know that they did something wrong, they go to get some help. Their family knows about it. Because it's not like I don't tell their family. I tell them, if you want to go this route, then you have to notify your family with me here. I need to call them. I need to be on the phone with them. And they'll call their family, and I won't post the video because I make an agreement with them. So if you genuinely want to get help, then that's great. Now, if they're a 60-year-old man, in my opinion, they're beyond help. There's no help in that. You're too old to fix it.
Is there a challenge to educate and not embarrass?
Pardon?
Is there a challenge for you to educate these predators and not embarrass them, or is it kind of like whatever happens happens? How do you go about that?
Oh no, I go for. I mean, if you've seen any of my catches, I mean they're very professional. I try to get them to understand what they've done is wrong. I mean, I don't go the whole humiliation route until I post a video. For the most part, obviously there are exceptions and stuff, but I mean I'm pretty much 100% professional with these guys.
Is this your full-time gig, part-time?
No,
or?
no. I mean, I'm a student. I have a full-time, or I have I guess, part-time job. Not right now, obviously, due to the virus, but yeah. I mean, I just do this on the side. I have time in evenings. Great.
So walk us through the virus. Did you kind of, lay back a little low because of the virus, because of this, or
with the virus?
Yeah.
No, we catch predators still. I mean, we're posting a video tomorrow. We're still up there. I mean, there's just as many predators, if not more, because they've got nothing else to do.
Is there a latest on the people in the chat were asking about North Carolina, an individual in North Carolina, predator poachers, North Carolina. What is the latest with that person, if you know?
I mean, we kicked him out. I honestly don't know much about the situation. I know that we kicked him out. I was just involved with getting rid of all the stuff associated with us, but
what about Josh? What about you guys fucking taking Josh's money that's living in a shed?
Who's you guys? What's that mean?
You're part of that squad. That's your squad.
I'm part of the squad. Do you think I get paid by these guys? I don't get any money from them.
No, you pay them. You're the bitch
I don't pay
boy.
any money. Nope,
you pay them.
I don't pay any money. That's a lie.
You pay them for the name. You're a bitch boy.
Trust me. I don't pay anybody. Trust me.
I had a question when you said
I wouldn't
that.
lie about that.
You try
It's like I'm the top dog.
Aaron,
I don't
can
have
you
to
come
pay
back
no
in?
I
more.
never said that,
You're
Merc.
static.
Stop getting it all aggressive.
It's
relax.
static,
Have
Aaron.
a professional conversation. Just
How
I'm sure you can do it.
how I don't want to say how embarrassing is it, this whole Alex and Rami beef out there, and the fact that Rami mentions multiple times that he is more successful than anyone else in the group. Do you find that comment a little divisive, or are you kind of motivated and challenged by that comment?
I mean, that's not a factual comment, but I honestly don't care. If he thinks he's the most successful, then great. I don't care.
He's better than you.
Oh, is he?
Who is the most successful then?
If what are we basing it off? What's success mean? Are we talking views? Are we talking? What are we talking here?
Wouldn't you? Okay, so
from your perspective, you guys are trying to make money. So yeah, Rami's the most successful one because he's making more money than
I don't
all
go
you
on
guys.
live stream. Do I go on live stream?
He shits on you, bro.
He doesn't shit on me ever. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he does.
Look at you try to split everybody up, dude. Just stay in the middle and talk. There's no need to
stay in the middle and talk.
There you go. Can you actually have a professional conversation? Like,
so do you? So no, is the? I mean, this is a public beef with Alex and Rami. Is it over with? Is the group moving forward?
I mean, I think it's pretty much gone. I mean, I've been talking. Like, we're sitting down. We're talking. It's all good. They'll push through it. I mean, everybody's going their separate ways.
Hopefully. It's fake. They're doing it for a fake boxing match.
Rami's not even going. Rami's not even going.
Are you going to the July branch?
I can't. The borders are closed.
Oh, you can't now.
Are the borders closed?
You have to get a visa. You're slow.
No,
though.
I don't. What are you talking about? I have.
You get a visa, and they will see if you can get accepted in.
Do you have like a Mount Rushmore of people that you kind of look up to and you think is like the OGs that are the best in the game that you kind of want to aspire to be, like a top 3, top 5, nothing?
Nope, I don't look.
There's no LeBron James, Michael Jordan groups in this.
No. I just do my own thing.
I had a question. When you said you get these people help, and then if they're of a certain age and that they don't get help, what degree do you hold that makes that kind of decision of who gets help and who doesn't deserve help?
I mean, I want them all to get help. I push them all to get help. I don't turn away help. I just think if you're 65 years old, you should be exposed because you're 65 years old. You're not 20. You're not making a stupid life decision that you really should not be making. You're 65 years old. You're way too old to be making that decision.
But is one age versus the other age more dangerous than the other one?
It's case to case. It depends.
Have you ever caught anybody twice?
Yes.
But hold on. What if the 20-year-old has been doing it its whole life already?
Great. Then they're going to get exposed.
And now you're going to help them. But now you're saying you're going to help them. But they've been doing it their whole life, and there is no helping them.
Words. Like he's been doing it his whole life. When he
No,
started
you're
doing
saying if it's a 20-year-old, you'll try to get him help.
I try to get all of them help.
You don't know
I
their
get all of them help.
background, though. You don't know their background.
Merc, I get all of them help.
But you don't know their background. You don't know who's who.
How do you know that? How do you know that?
You just said you don't. In Canada, you don't even know their life. You don't even know how to look them up or anything. But now all of
I
a
know
sudden,
about half the
what? You're
predators, over
Mr.
half of them I know
Batman.
their
You're
full
Batman of
addresses, all that
Toronto.
stuff.
You know how to investigate everybody. You got facial recognition
No.
or what?
Who said
Do you,
that?
are you so you're going based off
Steven,
what
calm
they
down.
might tell you,
Just
right?
calm down, Steven. What's that?
What did you call him? You called him what?
He's a
I called him
pedo
Steven.
sympathizer.
No, I called you Steven. I'm a
He's
pedo
talking about how
sympathizer.
he's gonna get pedos help and shit. You're a
Why
pedo
Yeah, I
did you,
hope they get help.
why
sympathizer,
did you
bro.
What does
call
that
him
make me a
Steven?
pedo sympathizer? I catch these guys. Come on.
Well, hold
really?
on. Why did you call him Steven?
He knows why I called him Steven.
How closely
No.
do you work with the police, if
I
at
would love
all?
for you to
The
prove
police?
that.
I don't work with the police. No.
Is
I have
there a
another
reason
question.
why? Is it because you have no faith? Is it because
They have no interest in working. I mean, I've tried to multiple times.
have
There's
they ever
individual
followed up?
officers that are interested, like individual officers, but the police department as a whole is not interested. So
Has any police officer contacted you? And my second question is: has any of the family members of these people ever contacted you after your video gets posted?
oh yeah. Police officers, a couple of them, maybe 2 or 3. One of them I actually I'm talking to a couple weeks ago. And as far as family members, all the time, every couple catches, their family reaches out to us.
Has
Either
there
right
any
after the catch or a couple months later, at some point they do find out.
any legal hot water with any of the catches?
No, never.
Is there a fear, or is it that you've done your research ahead of time to make sure that you've done, and
Oh
you've
yeah,
done
no, I
your
do
research?
my research. I make sure what I'm doing is fine. I mean, I don't want any legal problems for me. So
What's your goal in this? Well, what's your 5-year goal? Like, where do you want to be in 5 years?
His goal is to scam as much money as possible off this movement.
when do I scam people? I don't even know who's talking. Who are you? Who was that?
Have you donated any money to a good cause yet? Like you stated
Who was
before.
just talking? Sorry, I don't know who these people are.
That wasn't. I'm Aaron.
Oh, Aaron, what's up, buddy? That's a long time no talk.
I will say I messaged him out of the blue. Doesn't know who the hell I am, and
Yeah, I honestly have no idea.
within 2 minutes he jumps on the panel. So I will give him that. He did see who was on the panel, and he still jumped on the panel. So I need to give him that props there. He did not have to respond. He did not have to come on, and he's answering questions. And,
I had another thing to say about something. The Central Florida, even though you guys are friends, he stated something a while back to me. He said that Murder Merc threatened to burn down his house. The person who had the proof won't give it to him, aka that would be you.
The person that has it wouldn't give it to him?
That's what he stated. Yes.
Okay. Murder Merc knows what he said. I don't need to tell
No,
him
they
what he
said
said. He knows
they
what I
said
said.
there's proof of that.
No, but where's the proof? If I said what I said, prove it. Because I never said that.
Dude,
You're
I'm
a
not
liar.
giving you a bigger I'm a
You're
liar?
a liar. Drop it.
Okay.
Drop it right
is
now.
there
Drop it
ever
right now? Like what's the hold up? Like
is
drop
there
it.
ever is there ever any motivation to kind
You're a
of
clown, bro.
change?
You're a lying ass clown.
Is there any challenge to you or motivation to turn this opposition, this negative feedback, positive and get them on your side, or do you just not care?
No. Absolutely, I don't give a shit. They can oppose me all they like. I don't care. When they do their own thing, I don't care. I don't focus on it. It doesn't matter to me. I catch predators. They want to try to catch me doing whatever the fuck they think I'm doing. Oh well. It's too bad. I wish everybody was on board with it. People think I scam money. People think I scam money. I don't ask anybody for donations. So
have you had to go through a lot of burner phones?
Nope. I actually just use my cell phone. I have crew members that use phones and stuff. So we've been lucky like that.
How big is your team?
Depending on when I want to hit up people, we probably have. I mean, I have probably up to 6 people, 7 people, something like that, or so.
That McDonald's stream, you had like 3 people with you at that McDonald's catch I saw. Yeah, you did a catch at McDonald's. It was one of your earlier catches. I think it was McDonald's. It was definitely a fast food place.
Probably or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was probably like Do you think it's intimidating 3-4 the people deep showing up,
yes,
or do you
absolutely
have that for security?
A little bit of both. I mean, it depends on the catch. I mean, it depends on who I want to bring. Because I mean, I've run through probably 15 different people that were down to help out, like down to actually show up, and I kind of had to go through it and kind of say, I don't want you. I want you. I don't want this guy. And I mean, some of them want to just be there as protection, not talk, just stand there, and some of them want to actually be involved. So, it just depends, catch to catch.
How profitable is this line of work, and is this the most you've made?
Not as profitable as people think it is.
It
People
is.
think I make a shit ton of money. I don't.
I always use the analogy in the auditing world, like the Super Bowl is when they get arrested. They raise a lot of donations at PayPal. Is there a Super Bowl for you guys where there's a peak in like donations or no?
No, I mean, if I wanted money, I'd go live every night. I'd go live every couple nights. I do live catches. I don't do these things. I don't care about the money. I make money off ads. The ads pay for it. We do Stinghouse catches that pays for the Airbnb. We're buying a GoPro next week. You didn't hear me ask for donations, right? So I don't care about the donations. If people want to donate, they can donate. The PayPal is in my description. I don't ask people to go donate in the link. I've never done that. Nobody will find a soundbite of me saying, please give me money. That never happened.
What's your thoughts about that?
About what?
Like, because if you don't do it, are you opposed to other people that do it, or do you think that's
They do their own way? It's all good. I'm not going to tell someone how to run their shit. They can do it how they want. Like, their channel means nothing. Like, it doesn't matter to me. Their way of doing it, unless it's if I see something positive that somebody's doing, actually, one thing I will give credit. So CC Unit, if you guys know about him, I saw that he would post a screenshot from the chat log. When the predator would lie about something, he would say, I never said this. He would post a screenshot of the chat log where he says that next to the predator's face.
What's your thoughts? You're friends with CC Unit, right? What's your thoughts about his Discord not being monitored and there's 12-year-olds talking about drugs with adults in there?
I don't know anything about that. Like,
well,
I don't.
Brought to your attention.
He turns his cheek to that kind of stuff, bro. You ain't gonna get
Are
him
you
to
answering the
say
question
anything.
for me, or am I answering it?
What's your thoughts on it? You just answer. You
I
said
don't know
you don't
enough
have
about
nothing about it.
Well, I
You
don't know
nothing
enough about it.
Yeah,
I'm not going
turn
to
your
make a
cheek.
comment on something I don't know
Turn
about.
your cheek.
Right?
Have
Keep
you ever
turning your
caught
cheek.
yourself?
You commented about it because I asked you. I tagged you, and you said, "I'm not in there." So you were aware of it a while back.
Yeah, he
I'm in
just
CC Unit
turns
Discord.
his cheek.
I never said I wasn't in there.
Have you ever caught yourself saying "my guy" like 50 times a day now?
No, I said it a couple times as a joke in one of my earlier catches. I was actually watching it, and I forgot I did it.
Because I say it 50 times now. I literally am surprised I haven't said it since you coming on, my guy.
Yeah, no, I don't do it. I say it as a joke occasionally. I'll do a little
With
my
the
guy.
donos, my guy.
But yeah, I'll say that's wrong sometimes when I call him. But no, I don't do it in my personal life. I couldn't.
Have you ever went on? I don't even know what is it? A mission? How do you call this? Like, is it a mission? You guys call it, or what's the word for it? For what you do, like catch, right?
Yeah, we do catches. Yeah,
it's a hustle.
Have you done a catch with Ramy before? And what do you think about his? Okay, do you have an opinion on his approach and his aggressiveness?
I mean, it works for him, right? I mean, I wouldn't be able to pull it off the same way, because that's not me. I'm not an overly aggressive person. I like to just talk. I like to have a professional conversation and figure out what specifically they think is okay with it.
Why don't?
So I mean, it's his.
They ain't professional. How
Why
are
don't
they
you go
professional
live
conversations?
versus just record and edit? That way, in case if there's any slip ups, there's transparency.
No, I don't like having the potential of people showing up and trying to beat the shit out of this guy. I don't want that problem. We're gonna actually start up a couple live catches in a couple weeks, but I just don't need that. I don't want to have somebody coming to where I'm at because they see the park or something, they see the store, they show up and try to punch this guy.
Have you done a trap house, and do you think that's a good idea?
Sting house?
Yeah, have you done that before?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a good idea?
I did one with Alex. Yeah, we did about 10 catches.
What was your thoughts about Alex trying to push the dude back?
Push the dude back?
In one of your Sting house catches, he didn't. But that wasn't caught. That's just going based off. Why would the guy randomly push him if he's trying to leave?
Because he's scared. These guys are in one of the worst situations.
So he's scared, so he pushed the person.
You want?
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. A guy punched me in the shoulder. These guys get scared and they get aggressive.
I mean, all we see is we go based off what we see.
So that guy punched you at the Sting house in the shoulder?
No, that was
no. We're just going based off what we see on footage versus what we don't see on footage. So, in a case, it looks like he doesn't want to let Alex.
No, he's like bringing up. him getting punched into the shoulder compared to Alex pushing on
Well, that's
one.
hearsay because we didn't see it on camera.
Now, are
We
you?
have no footage.
Is it challenging finding locations to do it? Because I know Walmart must be sick as fuck as Alex, of Alex going to Walmart all the time. Is there a challenge in finding new locations to do this at?
No, I mean there's a ton of parks. We've been doing them at parks for the last month or so. Because of the whole virus stuff, we don't want to
take
have to
them
do
where
it
the children are.
Mark, Thomas, let me speak. So, I mean, I go them. I've been doing them at the parks. My crew's been meeting them at the parks, doing them there, and there's a ton of parks here.
He used to do exposures in the toy section. Now he moved to the parks.
What are your top 3 challenges in this line of work?
I mean, number one is actually getting them to show up. I mean, they have to talk sexual. Sometimes it takes. I mean, we've talked to a guy for over 3 months before he actually decided to meet up with us. Like it's a process. It depends. Some predators want to meet the same day. We were about to drop a guy tomorrow who wanted to impregnate the girl the day he met her and move away with her, run away. We had a guy a couple of days ago that wanted to run with the girl all the way to California. Some of these guys are down to meet up right away. Some of these guys take 3 months. That's definitely the biggest challenge.
I mean, Canadian law, there shouldn't be any kind of reason they work with you. Obviously, it's just based off, what detectives might say. But
what's that?
I know. I've read the Canadian law or Canada's law, and there shouldn't be a reason why they don't. But obviously, they just prefer not to. But can you prove? Can you show any proof of you sending stuff over, or have you just kind of stopped since they don't work with you?
I haven't sent reports in a while. They tweeted out the fact that I had never sent a report in, and after it takes about half an hour to fill out this report with so much information.
Bro, you sound like full of shit.
That's cool.
No, I should Google that word.
You can say whatever you want.
Google that word.
Watch
full
my shit,
of
they know
shit.
when I say something. I
Google
mean
that word. That's your definition.
Can you walk us through the mental health aspect of doing this prior and now? How is it difficult for you to not bring this into your personal life and be mad at the world?
I mean, it definitely changed the way I look at people. I mean, I tend to see the worst in people now a lot more than I did back in before around Christmas time. I mean, back then, if you asked me what was up with somebody, I might look at them and say something positive. Now I might look at it and say the negative, or at least think it. But I mean, it's tough. Sometimes I take a couple breaks. I mean, you definitely can't do it all day, every day for months.
How difficult is it to turn that phone off during those breaks?
Yeah, you want to get back because I mean, there's so many people out there. If I want to do this all the time, I could talk to a predator. I could probably talk to 5 predators every single minute of the day, different predators all the time. Because there's so many people here in Toronto, and it's scary, but it's a sad truth. There's that many people out there that are interested in little kids.
Do you ever think, because you guys ask for people to donate, I'm not saying you in particular do, but the people who ask for funds to be donated, do you think they should show transparency and kind of show that it's not going to nefarious reasons, or do you kind of have the attitude it's their choice to donate, you guys can do whatever you want with it?
Yeah, I mean, I think if the viewers request that they show what the money's going towards, like if I'm making a claim that it's going to go towards something, it's going to go towards that thing, and I'm going to show it. But I mean, that's on the viewers to push that person, to push the channel, push the group, whatever it is. They got to push.
Yeah, if everyone came together.
It's not my job to go over to them and say, hey, you got to do this better, because it's not my channel. It's not my place to say.
Is your goal to break free, or do you like being a part of a group?
No, I love being part of the group. I have no ideas of moving past this. I don't want to go on my own on that.
Walk us through the approval process. How do you get approved to be a part of this group? What steps did you have to go through? Was it an easy process? Walk us through the process to get approved by someone.
You got
like
a role play with Alex where you pretend to be a 14-year-old.
He's a cute,
and then you
guy.
gotta donate $150
Yeah,
every month.
that's a serious question.
I don't pay wrong.
That's how you become the brand.
Let's let him answer. Let's let him answer. Let's hear the process.
Yeah, I mean, for my process was a little different because I was the first actual group to sign on. So when the group signed on, I joined a little bit after, and it was good. I mean, it was very easy back then. It was before we, as a whole group, Alex, anybody knew about kind of the issues that could come along with this. So he's got smarter with accepting people. We kind of vet people, kind of figure out what's going on before we actually accept them. But Yeah, I'm not going to go into too many specifics, but there is definitely a process to be accepted in. You know,
What's
just
the
accept.
number one thing that you wish people would understand that the word for some reason is not getting out there as much, that's misunderstood about the work you do?
I mean, I think the majority of people understand it. I mean, my channel has a ton of views, and I mean, I think my channel's like to dislike ratio is like 96%, something like that. So I mean, I would definitely say that there's no misconceptions for a couple people. I mean, there's obviously going to be the exceptions for a couple people, but for the majority of the public, they understand what's going on.
There are bad apples in every group, obviously.
Mhm.
Can you kind of point us to the what not to do and what makes you look bad when it's done? What is that?
When what's done? Sorry.
Like what's like the holy grail of no, you got to do the opposite of that? What is like a shit stain on the movement that makes groups look bad?
When I mean, there's a couple groups, I won't call them out specifically, but there's a couple different channels, not in predator poachers, that get sexual with the guy before they say their age. That looks awful. You should never be doing that. I mean, for the first part or first thing, you don't get sexual first. You let them get sexual, but you definitely say the age before it's sexual. If they hit you up and say, "Hey, want to suck my dick?" your immediate response should be your age. You shouldn't continue that conversation, and you should not be the first one to say, "Hey, want to suck my dick? I'm free right now." You know what I mean? But let them do that.
What the fuck is he saying? Professor pedophile hunter over here.
Was that hard for you, Steven? What grade did you graduate from?
Can you
I thought that
show
was a very
proof
simple
of
answer.
his name is Steven? Is there going to
I
be an
don't need to show proof.
exposure on
Steven
that?
knows what his name is.
What is your take
Well,
on?
your name's Adam.
Is it, Aaron?
It is.
I'm glad you know that.
What is your take
If you
on?
make it, Adam, it's cool. Keep harassing
And my
that kid.
name's Steven.
Your name is Steven. We have a picture of you. Check Google Maps. Look up your address. You're standing right in front of it. Anyways, what was the question?
I was going to ask what your take.
What's the address I look up? Sorry.
I'm not doxing you, dude. I don't care.
Well, can you message
I
me?
don't dox people. That's the piece of shit move. We had your
Can you
address for a
message
couple
it?
of months. I don't do
Can
it.
you message to me in private though, so I can look it up?
What's your take on the logic that someone with a criminal background shouldn't be doing this line of work? Do you agree with that or no?
It depends on the criminal background. Honestly, it depends on what you did. I mean, if you have sex crimes, like the guy from TAP, he's a piece of shit. He has a ton of problems with him, and people let him do this. And I don't think if you have a history of sexual violence, you should not be catching sexual predators. Does not matter at any point in your life if you did this, you should not be catching child predators. In my opinion, that's my opinion.
Are there parasites in this movement, and what can we do to rid those parasites of the movement?
I mean, I guess there is. There always is, right? But, I mean, hopefully the better groups, the better organizations, the better people get more attention. They get more praise. They get more support. And it can hopefully just let those people do their job. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, honestly, I may not like somebody. I may not like a certain group. But we're all in it for the same thing, hopefully. We're all in it to catch predators.
You're all in it to catch money, huh?
You said
What'd I say,
Canada
Steven?
doesn't have a registry list, right?
No, I mean it does have a registry list. It's just it's private. It's for the public. It's for the police. The public don't get to see it.
Now, do you think? Do you want to start like some kind of like campaign signage to get like a lot of votes to either make it on a bill to where it becomes public, just like the United States does?
Oh yeah, definitely. When I get big enough, I don't think 37,000 subscribers on YouTube is big enough to do anything to change that. But I definitely think at some point that's the goal. I mean, I'm trying to reach out to a couple big guys that do this kind of thing in Canada.
Who do you speak to in Canada to do that? I know here, what do we call the United States? We talk to like legislator people.
Right. It's the same idea. You guys have your governors. We have our premiers for our provinces, which is your state. But I mean, it's a similar idea. It's the same process. It's just different names. But they don't tend to do anything unless there's hundreds of thousands of votes and people signing onto these petitions, and even then, it's probably not.
I would take donations and go put stuff on billboards and talk to whoever you guys talk to maybe get that on a ballot and then like protest it. Go protest.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely at some point. That's something I do want to raise. I mean, an issue that I think is a big issue. I should be able to see if I'm living next to a sexual predator. That's my right to know, because I want to know who these people are. You know, I don't think that they should be going to jail for 15 years.
Yeah, I think
raping a 6-year-old and then I don't know who they are. Right?
He's too stupid. He won't be able to do it all.
I really think the one thing both sides of the fence agree on are the laws suck and they need to change.
Yeah,
Walk
I
us
think-
through what you think needs to happen for the laws to change. Then after that, if anyone else wants to jump in after him.
I mean, for them to change, it's going to take a whole lot of push from the public. And like for example, the age of consent is 16 here in Ontario. I think it should be 18. I think 16 is still way too young, because you got a 16-year-old and a 50-year-old. That doesn't sound right to me. So I definitely think it should be 18, but I don't think they're going to do anything unless they're pushed to. Honestly, and it's too bad, because it's a big issue, and it's all over the states as well. It's the same age.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird law when you got an 18-year-old and 16's cool, but if you send a 16-year-old sends a nude photo over, then you know what I mean. Then you get hemmed up for that, especially if people have been dating. It's just a weird. I think it should be 18.
It's a very weird. Sometimes, I mean, I think I heard a case down in the States that someone that was, I think, 18 had a picture of himself, like his own dick pic, when he was a minor, and they ended up arresting him for child porn. It was his own dick. Like, it's different. Like, it's not another guy's dick; it's his own. You know, but
what about the Discord with all the children in it?
Well, if they allowed that, that'd be like a weird loophole, and they'd be playing child porn from like the 80s.
Why do you guys have all kinds of like children in that Discord channel that I got into?
What's that? Which one?
We were playing a video earlier. That showed that there was a Discord that apparently was a predator poachers Discord. I'm going to use the word allegedly because I don't want to get any hot water. And it was showing minors being pretty much file shared.
No, that's been verified. They didn't even verify that it was their Discord. So,
are you talking about the branch chat?
Yeah, the branch
Yeah,
Discord.
I mean, I don't know these kids. I don't use them. I have my own decoys.
But
Are you a part of that Discord?
Pardon?
Are you a part of that Discord?
I mean, I think it's still around. We don't use it. We use Instagram. I was a part at the beginning. That's how we got trained.
Have you ever kind of had to pull anyone else? Don't say who, but have you had to pull someone else from the group aside and kind of not have a talk with them, but have a talk with them?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. I mean, as somebody that's kind of looked up to in the predator poachers community, when there's a new group, I want to help them. I want to make sure that they're doing their stuff the right way. If I see a chat log and I go, whoa, that wasn't right, I hit them up. I say, hey, let's have a call. Hit me up when you're free. And I talk to them. I mean, my goal is to make everybody better. That's the whole point of being in the organization.
He's a predator hunter leader.
Well, wait a second. You're predator poachers. Thanks. Nothing you guys do is legit.
More.
And I don't understand why you paid to be in a team. Can you explain that?
He says he doesn't pay.
No, I don't.
You don't pay. You didn't pay Alex
Was
to
there more
join
to
the
that?
team?
You're
The
just putting out a
username?
statement that you heard me say.
My end is really staticky, so I'm trying to listen to all this, but
Is anyone else staticky or everyone else good?
No, it sounds fine to me.
Okay.
no, I'm saying on my end, it's staticky. But so who all has to pay for the predator poachers?
I'm not sure if there's anything else you guys wanted, but
I was going to ask you, what is your go-to video for someone who hasn't seen your channel? What is your go-to video to kind of show people, hey, this is what you're like? What video are you proudest of the most, and why?
The one where he exposed the guy in the toy section.
Actually, strangely enough, Stephen, that's actually the one. Yeah, you got it. The video is Coke Nail Predator, and I think that was probably the best breakdown of a conversation that I had with them. We asked him some pretty good questions.
Steven.
So let me talk, Steven. And there's one that will be coming out in a week or so. His name was Steve, and that Matt, the catcher in that video, did a great job of asking him. The guy was very remorseful, but it was a very interesting look into their actual minds. But Coke Nail Predator for sure is probably
you've hung out with Alex the person. Is there an off camera? Is there a different Alex off camera compared to on camera?
No. I mean, he's pretty right across the board. He does it all the time. He's very expressive. He loves to talk. So
what do you think about the racial accusations with how edgy he is with the racial comments.
People don't understand he was raised with black people around him. If you look at his high school pictures, it's black people with him.
But
It's
does
different.
that make you not a racist or a racist?
It doesn't make you racist to say a word. A word is not racist.
But I'm saying the remarks he says is kind of racist.
And then that's your opinion. That's fine. You're entitled to your opinion. Nobody's going to say you can't have that opinion. If you think he's racist, that's fine. Nobody's going to tell you.
Well, when he says that MLK's rolling in his grave like fried chicken, do you think that's a racist thing to say?
That's actually pretty funny. I actually think that's funny. That's a joke.
Racism's a joke?
But does it seem racist though?
I don't think so. I think it's a racial joke. I don't think it's racist. It's a racial joke.
I mean,
what is a racial joke? It's racist.
That's a racial joke. That joke right there is racial. Are comedians allowed to be racial? Are comedians allowed to be sexual? Of course they are.
He's not a comedian though.
How active is your group in recruiting more people to join? And have you ever had, I mean, you said the North Carolina situation. Have you ever had another group like that you had to kind of cut ties with pretty quickly? And was it something that happened that was really bad for the group, or kind of how did that work out?
Yeah, I mean, I won't go into specifics on anybody, but we've kicked people out. He's definitely not the first. I think we've kicked more than 5 people out. I mean, there was an issue way back in January that I think Steven knows a little bit about, and I won't go into specifics about it, but I mean, Steven knows who Steven is. I think you know who Steven is as well, Aaron. But these guys, they know about these situations. I mean, people are going to be, you don't know a person until you actually get into a group with them. You don't know everything about them. Once you deal with them for a month and you realize the kind of person they are, sometimes you got to cut ties with them. But North Carolina is not the first group we picked up.
I greatly appreciate your time coming on. Please let everyone know where to follow you, and where to follow you on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff.
Yeah, Instagram.
You follow him at Predator Poachers. Get a life.
Steven,
if I
message Toronto, do you have the ability to stop talking and just listen? Like, I'm wondering. Like, this is a genuine question.
You've been talking the whole time. I've been muted.
He's on the. He's heading out because I don't know how long he had, so I don't want to hold on.
Toronto, can you send me the address if I hit you in private?
I don't dox people.
In private, not in public.
Yeah, I don't dox
people. You guys have static.
You're not Steven, Aaron.
But
I'm
you
not gonna
can't. You
Steven's address.
You can't make a statement without showing proof or something.
Of course I can. I just made one, didn't
no,
I?
you can't.
Steven, I just did.
No, that's not showing proof.
I don't want to show people it because I don't care about you. That's how it is. You think
I'm not Steven though. I'm
significance on me. It doesn't.
Where do I live, Toronto?
Toronto. This is Aaron
Compton, I believe.
I live in Compton?
I think so. I don't remember exactly. It was a couple months ago. I don't really care. It's in Los Angeles though.
But I'm saying no. This is Aaron. I was asking you to send it to me. You said it shows his face in the Google Maps.
No, I mean it's obviously blurred, but I mean, come on, you've seen his body. You know what he looks like.
I'm not Steven.
I know you.
This is Aaron.
I know. You've seen his arms. You know what he looks like. It's very obvious when Steven's outside smoking a cigarette. We don't know who he is.
So he's standing in front of a house that makes him Steven?
No. Him being outside of his address, smoking a cigarette.
That makes you Steven? How does it make you
Steven
Steven?
When do I smoke a cigarette outside of my address?
Look it up on Google Maps.
You're tripping.
I'm tripping? Okay. Maybe I'm mistaken, Steven. Maybe I'm mistaken. It's just somebody that looks like you outside your home address. I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
You're fucking tripping, bro.
Maybe. It's okay. Don't worry about it, Steven.
Smoking a cigarette outside on Google Maps.
Do you smoke cigarettes outside?
No.
I will say that.
Never? Okay, that's cool.
I greatly appreciate Toronto for hopping on.
Yeah, of course.
Last second. This wasn't planned.
Dude, you're fucking...
It's getting
it's
to
like
you,
he
Steven.
can't prove the whole house.
I can hear it.
No, he can't prove any of it. That's the sad part.
He can't. He just makes statements
to you.
Central Florida said you won't give it to him. Central Florida said you won't give it to him.
He won't even send it to me. He send it to me then.
Why would I send it to you? I don't want to deal with you.
God, wow.
Exactly. Did Central Florida report it to the police?
No, because I don't think Steven's a big talker. Steven doesn't back shit up with his.
But I'm saying Central
I've
Florida.
never threatened anybody on the internet. You're stupid.
Oh wait, okay, hold on. Is this all being recorded?
Yes.
Yeah. You've never said any threats to anybody?
Never.
Never. Okay, that's cool. Just want to make sure that's recorded. It's all good.
You're tripping.
I'm sure I'm tripping. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, Central Florida keeps saying that you will give it to him.
He keeps saying it. Why do you guys keep
He
on trying
said
to split
he
people
said
up?
that. He said
Did
that.
he? Okay.
Central Florida said that.
I guess I'll have to talk to him.
You
We'll have to
talk.
figure it out.
I'm dead ass serious. Talk to him.
That's cool.
They're
No,
like
that's-
smoked out the game too. They don't even know what the fuck they're talking about.
I don't deal with other.
I
no,
would
don't
never
deal
I'm
with
just
other-
wondering. I
say
don't
I
think
would
he even
never say I
reported
was
that.
gonna blow up somebody's house on the
No,
internet.
no,
You know
no.
how
It wasn't
fucking
blow.
dumb
It
you
was burn.
sound?
It was a burn down their house.
Let me ask El
I would
Sancho
never
this.
say that
If
too. I would
somebody
never say that either.
Okay.
question to El
Yeah.
Sancho, if somebody said that to you, they're gonna burn down your house. Would you report that to the police?
If there's
Someone
evidence of
said
it,
it
I
to
would.
me. Oh, sorry, you're talking to him.
If there's evidence of it, I would definitely report it because I think my life would be in fear.
Yeah.
Depends on whether the threat is viable or not. And when Steven says something, I mean, come on. We know Steven isn't
Well,
really going to burn
if
his
they're
house. He lives in
saying
Los
it,
Angeles.
I wouldn't
shouldn't
say
matter if
something
you're gonna.
like that.
So
Okay,
you
Steven,
took it with a
fine.
grain of salt. So
Of
you're
course.
saying you didn't say it, and you said he said it, but we'll take it with a grain of salt.
I don't bring it up because I don't care. I don't think he's serious. Like, it's all good. He liked to talk. It's all good.
Well, they said it's recorded.
How serious
thought they
have
recorded.
these? How serious have these threats? Have you had stalkers? Has it gotten serious as far as that
No,
negative?
nobody knows who I am.
Dude, he's
I
fucking
mean,
tripping.
why
Alex
am I
tried to
tripping?
blackmail me
Steven,
with
are you
that.
still that upset about me saying I know where you live?
Alex wrote me, hit me up from a sock account, and got on the phone with me and says if I don't stop messing with you guys, that you're gonna drop this proof of. We said they were gonna burn down Central Florida South. Is that black? Is
And
that
you
black?
have proof of that? You know it was Alex?
Yeah, I talked to Alex on the phone.
Uh-huh. Okay. Cool.
You guys are fucking a joke, bro.
We're fucking a joke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Drop some shit. Come on.
I don't.
Fucking
See, the thing with me, I
prove
do
it.
predator catching. I don't need to
If
worry
you're
about
gonna
y'all.
say some shit, you gotta come with facts. You can't
I
just
don't say
say
it. You
you're
brought it
talking
up,
out
bro.
your
You
ass.
brought it
Everything you
up.
say is not
You brought it up.
100%.
I didn't bring it up. I don't care about it. It doesn't matter to me.
That's
You
why I
brought this
expose the
situation.
fuck out of you people.
You expose the fuck out of us people, okay?
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. I'm sure
All right,
you do.
Toronto. I really appreciate you hopping on. I don't want you to
Yeah.
hang on bad
If you
terms.
keep that shit up, we're gonna fucking expose you for a whole nother round for
What
just
are
being
you gonna expose me?
liars, liars
ahead.
and racists
What
this
am I
time.
lying about, Steven? I'm
You guys
cool
are
with staying for a
liars and
bit.
racists.
There's no worries.
Still
Why am I
can't. He
racist?
can't even prove that why your name's
No, hold
Steve.
on. He made a claim that he says he should be able to back up, right? How am I racist? Go ahead. What have I
You
said that was racist?
associate with the racist.
You
Does that
do.
make me racist, Aaron?
You
Is that what you consider
associate.
racist?
You
But I'm saying
stand with them.
you
That's your
stand with
leader.
the organization.
That makes me racist.
Yeah.
Shouldn't
Good
you
one,
break
Steven.
apart from that?
I don't be
Shouldn't you
racist.
break
That's your
apart with
opinion.
that?
You're a liberal.
No.
You always think this shit. Come on
How am
now.
I liberal, dude? I vote for Trump.
I know your
You're
voting
in
record,
Canada.
dummy. You're literally a registered Democrat. What are you talking about? I know
Where
your
does it
fucking
say
voting
it?
history.
I'm registered Democrat
It's
at.
public.
Oh my
It's public
god.
information.
You know this is Aaron, right?
Oh, which you're a fucking Democrat as well. I know your
Are
public
you
record as
kidding me?
well.
I'm a gun-toting motherfucker, man. It's
I'm not a
America, bro. It's
Democrat.
2020,
He said
bro.
I'm a Democrat. I don't even
Yes. You're a
I'm
Democrat.
private party, you dumbass.
I'm sure. Uh-huh. Okay.
Am I
Yeah,
a Democrat? This
for
is
sure.
Aaron. Where does it say
Private
I'm a
Aaron?
party.
I'm not sure, Aaron. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Democrat. He said I'm
I
a
live in the
Democrat.
Wild West, man.
You live in the Wild West.
I'm
I
a
knew you
private
about
party.
Oh, yeah.
addiction.
This
Just
is
straight.
Arizona. It's Wild, Wild
Arizona,
West.
yeah.
I don't vote
Yeah,
for
no, I
either
don't.
or.
It doesn't mean you don't vote, or it doesn't mean you vote. It just means what you registered as. But
I'm
it's
a
all good.
private party.
That's
You're
cool.
a clown.
Good for you. Okay. I'm sorry.
Drop
you think
that proof too.
It
But yeah,
must be
I
Stevens
appreciate you
registered
hitting
to
me up
vote
though,
as the
and I
Democrat.
appreciate all the
Come with
comments
some
and
facts next time.
being able. Stop talking. I'm saying bye. So,
I'm saying
but yeah, I
bye.
appreciate it. I appreciate the question.
I really appreciate you hopping on and jumping in, man.
Yeah,
You
sure.
didn't have to
Hit
do
me
it.
up.
You
Next
really.
time, come with some like proof.
He didn't have
Steven,
any
we're
time to
talking about
prep.
predator catching.
I'll be honest
We're
with
talking about
you.
predator
Dude.
catching.
He hopped on within 3 minutes. He didn't have any time to do any prep. This is him jumping on within 3 minutes of a request.
What do you mean? He says he got it all right there.
Whoa.
Like, just drop
Yeah.
it.
Steven,
know?
I don't worry about that stuff. My goal is to catch predators, not to deal with personal
Oh my
petty
god,
drama.
and I'm Steven.
I don't do
and
this
this
drama
fucker.
shit.
Dude,
Not
you're
me.
smoked out the fucking game, bro.
Okay. Have a good one, buddy. I appreciate
Go
you.
Google me some more.
I really appreciate your time, Toronto.
Wait, sorry. Who was the one that hit me up though?
That
What
was
was
me,
part
El
of it?
Sancho.
Sorry, I don't even know anything about you.
Top left, El Sancho, right over here. I have a YouTube channel.
Cool. Okay, yeah. What is it? I'll check it out.
It's the one you're on now. I will send send you the link after.
Perfect. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thanks for being so good.
Have a good one.
You too. I'll give him that. He didn't have to come on. Thoughts, everybody?
How does he call you a Democrat? That dude's from Canada.
Dude, everything
Steve
he's saying is
Steven's a Compton Democrat.
smoking a
Don't you
cigarette
think you would
outside.
want to prove that his name's Steven?
And then he said I'm smoking a cigarette outside my building or some shit, or in my
Your
house.
house. Your house.
Steven the Compton Democrat.
Oh my God.
Walk us through, Chad. Walk us through, since you've been praised a couple times on this panel tonight. Walk us through your style. Walk us through, what you learned from beginning this and what you're doing now differently, and walk us through your A to Z kind of style and what separates you and why is everyone fucking praising you?
Oh man, I couldn't answer that. I mean,
a humble dude.
Just first of all, when you involve money, when you're doing it, and whether you're getting not only donations through super chats, but you're editing your videos down and preparing them for AdSense to, it's all a money game. They start out, I don't know none of them guys. I've never watched their exposures, and I never will. But their whole thing starts out from the beginning. It's almost like a mafioso type thing with a bunch of weirdos. You gotta pay the biggest weirdo $150 just to use the name, and then you gotta pay 20% of all your donations. And so what's your driving force? They care less about exposing. They care less about anything about children. They care less about and if they want to prove me wrong or they disagree with me, then drop the name. Why are you a part of a organization, especially with a leader or a head dude that does the shit that clown does? I mean, it's just, and to be honest with you, I can't take any credit for anything that any praise I get. Now, any backlash I get, I can take the blame. I'll take the blame because I'm on camera. But any praise I get is because of the people that work behind the scenes for me. And when that dude made that statement, you can never get sexual first, you're already off on the wrong track. You never get sexual. You never get sexual with these people. When they say something sexual, you say something like, "Oh, I'm shy. I've never done nothing like that. I don't even know what that's like." You know, the whole ideal of it is you're looking for a person that's trying to exploit an innocent child. You're not looking for two people on there talking about fucking getting together. You know what I mean? It's all weird to me. And, Bray and Mert, they came after me before 2 years ago. And, I see some of their concerns. Not all the things they say are not valid. Some of them are valid points. But I enjoy doing it. I think it has a longer lasting punishment than a lot of the punishment that these people get in the justice system. If you can you can actually be arrested for the same offense that you would be charged with in one of our exposures. You could actually be arrested for it, never make the news, end up getting a plea bargain, doing 6 months in county jail, probably on work release, and going back into community and nobody ever knowing about it. Or on the other hand, you can get a couple 100,000 views on you and be, anytime somebody Googles your name, your video pops up for the rest of your life. I know plenty of people that would probably take option number one over option number two. But is it perfect? no. Should it be done at all? I can't honestly answer that question because I do it and I enjoy doing it. Um, do I understand people like Merck and Bray and other people that think it shouldn't be done? Yeah, I get their point. I see their concerns because look at some of the, if you know, it's inevitable. If somebody starts doing it and they're doing a pretty good job at it, then you're going to have 10 people start, and then you're going to have 40, and then you're going to have 60, and usually out of them 60, you're going to have 55 idiots running around doing dumb shit, you know, talking more sexual than the people they're trying to expose, using child pornography, taking money, going live for 6 hours and taking donations and then not even doing an exposure. I don't even turn my camera on until I got eyes on the person. There's no sitting there and talking, cutting it up, shooting the shit, none of that. I'm sitting in a parking lot or wherever I'm at. My camera doesn't even go live until my eyes are on the subject. So, you know,
You want
but
headphones, Chad, or something? Is a little static with you?
I mean, I got these headphones on. I don't know what's going on. I was hearing a little static.
A little bit.
You want to drop me out and bring me back in?
I will. Was it him? Or was it Merck? Let me mute you real quick. Yep, it's Merck. Merck, you got a little like static. Yeah, it's static with you, Merck. Let me hop you off and back on. Hopefully that fixed it. Did I fix it? Oop. I think he pressed it too. Can you unmute yourself?
Is that better?
No, that's still static. I'm going to post a StreamYard link if you want to hop off completely and hop back on.
Is that better?
Much better. Much
There you
better.
go. Yeah, you're good.
Have you ever gotten physical, Chad, with any of these predators?
Couple times mildly. Just in self-defense. I had a guy on the last exposure I did. He grabbed my phone and I had to get my phone back, of course. And then I guess about 2 years ago, there was a guy that showed up and he had a walking cane. He was actually younger than me in age, but he was walking on a walking cane. And as soon as I exposed, told him, what I was there to do, who I was, he swung his cane and knocked my phone out of my hand. I didn't do anything to him because, of course, he was some kind of disabled. You don't get no win for, I let him have that one. It didn't do anything to hurt me. Didn't break my phone. No need to push it past that limit. I would say 99.9, if not 100% of the clowns I've exposed, if it was to get physical, I would fucking destroy him. So there's no, I'm not out there to be a tough guy. That's the dumbest shit to me on the internet there is is being tough for no reason. You know what I mean?
Have you had
it's
any
not necessary.
convictions?
No, unfortunately, I'm in one of the states of our great country that require two things. One, either there be a real actual victim, or two, the entire investigation be done from beginning to end by a member of law enforcement. That's the two things. So, but we have done a lot of work. Some of the things that was mentioned earlier, we have done that. We did we did start a petition. It's got over 5,000 signatures. It's on 7 different legislators' desks. It's on the mayor of our town's desk, our city mayor, the legislator for our state, the governor, our state's 2 state senators. It went to all their desks. We met with FBI. We met with ICAC in my town. We went through all the roads to get there, and unfortunately, it's just part of it. I live in a area where it's just not going to happen.
So both sides of the fence agree the laws need to change. What are you two doing? I don't know where Merck went. I was going to say you three. What are you two doing at a local level to try to get the laws changed, if anything? Aaron, you first. Or Chad. Chad, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, we started the petition. I haven't checked it here lately and seen what it's up to now, but it did get over 5,000 the last time I did see it, and it automatically, it's a change.org petition. Not the best of ways to go, not the best, way to do it, but it was a start. And once it reaches 5,000, it automatically goes to the desk of the people we list, and we listed, like all the people I told you about earlier. But other than that, man, I just really don't see the laws changing on this, because and you know what, I'll be honest with you, I couldn't blame them if they didn't, because some of the shit I've seen pop up and some of the groups I've seen pop up doing this, maybe it's best that citizens are not, that, because if a cop works with one citizen, then they got to work with all citizens. And some of the shit I've seen out here, man, if I was a cop, I wouldn't go close to that with, 10-foot pole. So, I see both sides of it. I really do.
What's the punishment in your state? Do you think it should be harsher?
I think you're talking about for sex offenders.
Yeah,
I think in every aspect of sex offenses should be harsher. I mean, for instance, I kind of got upset with Sancho. I knew Sancho. I know before all you all did. I kind of met Sancho a few weeks ago. We've done a few panels together, but I kind of got upset with Sancho because he did an interview with the guy that I didn't agree with him doing an interview with. But that's Sancho runs his show.
What happened to him?
Not sure.
I didn't boot him. What happened?
Sancho is trying to silence him.
No, don't say that shit. That's why I need to jump ahead of that.
Kidding, guys.
Don't say that shit. He knows me. He knows me why. That was on him. I didn't do shit.
All right, Sancho kicked me quick as a mouse.
No, motherfucker. Don't even start that shit. Don't even start that narrative.
Sancho put my ass in timeout quick.
I'm eating fucking potato chips, man, and I'm getting educated by you two. Go ahead.
No, but you got a man. There's something wrong in America when you got a man that's already convicted of one rape. He's admitted to being a pedophile to law enforcement in a police interview, and now he's standing trial for molesting his own children, and he's able to make no telling how much money off multiple YouTube channels. There's a problem. Sex offense is the worst thing in the world to me. And a lot of people say even worse than murder. Murder can have circumstances behind it. For instance, Sancho, somebody could be coming in your front door at 3:00 in the morning and starting up your staircase, and you at the top of the staircase don't know who it is, and you shoot and you kill that person. There's different levels to murder and stuff. Now, I'm not talking about serial killers and all that, but a lot of murders can have circumstances to them. But anybody that takes advantage of a child, anybody that sexually molests or sexually abuses a child in any way, there should be no more chances, because that's not something that that's why they call them over in England.
So walk me through that temper of yours. You're clearly passionate about this. Listening to how passionate you are, I don't know if it's smart to get in front of real life pieces of shit monsters, because in my opinion, it'd be challenging for me to not be physical. Walk me through the restraint process you go through, and how challenging is it for you to not get your listen, we all have hot heads, we all do. How difficult is it for you to get that in check?
Well, I did a long time in prison around the worst of the worst. I've dealt with them in a lot worse ways than putting a camera on them. Let's just say that. But a lot of it comes from maturity. A lot of it comes from being mature enough to know that I'm not going to go out here and do something stupid enough to take me away from my kids and my family. You know what I mean? You got to go and at least have some kind of common sense that I'm not going to go out here and attack somebody. What's that doing any good? Then you're the idiot. Then you're the clown in jail. Because you get those comments. There's usually over 1,000 comments on my lives, and there's probably over 100 of them saying, "Curb stomp him out, beat him down, take him around back, shoot him, blow his brains out." And we go and block and hide all those comments because, for one, we don't want that on the channel. But my whole thing is what good am I doing? What good am I doing when I'm the one going away in the police car, and the alleged offender is getting back in their fucking caravan and driving back to their fucking dungeon?
Yeah, Chad don't want to be a Rami.
Chad don't want to be what?
A Rami.
I do want to thank you for your professionalism and your respect that you showed me, because I know Angry Sasha, and I'm very proud and I'm very happy to have met not Angry Sasha, and that was very respectful for you to not do what I know you were going to do, because you're very emotional and passionate about this as well. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to get off and say everything I wanted to say, and then I said I will come back.
You got it out. You definitely got it. I got somebody backstage, Busting Folks. Anyone know that? Busting Folks?
No.
Never heard of them.
Never heard of it.
Should I bring them up? What do you think, Sasha?
I have in my profession, I got about a handful of arrests for sexual predators, but I treat everybody with, I treat everybody I arrest, because I'm just apprehension side of it for bail bonds. So all I do is strictly just hunt fugitives or get a call and get a case. So, I just do my job, arrest them, either don't talk to them or do talk to them. I just show everyone with respect.
Are you there, Buster?
Yeah, hello?
Are you there?
What's up?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Yeah,
I'm worried about getting.
I'm not sure if I keep up with Alex lives, but he had one the other day, about 2 days ago. They had a controversy about this guy called I Catch a Predator Sometimes. He used to be part of their organizations.
Yeah, Joe.
But they had a controversy regarding one of the ex moderators, who was a 17-year-old girl, and this dude was basically jacking off to the 17-year-old ex moderator online, and then Alex was basically blaming the girl for being manipulative. I have a little part of his deleted lie on my page, but and actually this guy sends Alex some new pictures of the 17-year-old from California, or what? Not totally new, but pictures of her being topless videos,
Who
things of
who's
that
the
nature.
17-year-old girl? She's a moderator for Josh.
No, she's a moderator. She's an ex-moderator for Alex.
Oh, for Alex. She's,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, a moderator for
Yeah,
their YouTube channel. Okay.
she's an ex-moderator for Alex, and they had a controversy. But the thing was that this dude, are you sure? Are you familiar with the guy who lives in the storage room?
Yeah, I'm familiar with everyone. I'm part of the original group that's
Yeah, we
exposed
know
to
him
all this.
very well.
Okay, yeah, the bucket, the bucket boy, the one that
Yeah, his name's
so,
Josh.
yeah. So for quite some time, I guess it happened several times, but yeah, he's beating his meat to the 17-year-old girl. You know, they're having discussion. I guess she turns. Alex thing was, well, she's borderline. She's about to be 18 in August, but it doesn't matter because even though some states have it where you 16 age of consent, others
Once you send me
18.
photos, it's against federal law in the United States.
Yeah, it's federal. Once you do online, you got to, you know what I mean. If it's not 18, it doesn't matter if her birthday is the next day. It's still child pornography. That's the part of that.
This is something I'm new. I'm totally hearing right now. I'm definitely interested now.
Okay.
So is she Josh's moderator now and Alex's ex-moderator?
No, she's she's not the moderator no more. She's I find her name, but I looked on her page and she has only person she subscribed to Josh, but she used to be Alex moderator and everything, but she's kind of like in the background right now and everything. I got her name because I noted that she did a comment on one of Alex videos on this hub video on this hub page, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got like 2 clips of the video on my on my page and everything. That's what I made it. That's all I made this for. But yeah, that's the thing. And then Alex, he kind of don't. He kind of like 17 and borderline because even he admitted to sending his own pics, dick pics, while he was 17 years old in high school and everything. You know, and his thing is, oh well, the police not tripping. They know it's my dick pic, but he didn't tell the police that it was while he was 17. He kind of slipped on one of his streams and said, "Oh," because he's like, "Yeah, I send pedos my dick pic and pics of
Well,
and
he
pics
only
of
admitted to that because we exposed the chat logs. That's why his hand was forced into admitting that he did that. As far as this girl thing, that's how we originally found Predator Poachers, was we found Diberville, which is I Catch Predators Sometimes. He was Predator Poachers Diberville, and he was doing some questionable things then with minors, and we called it out. And then when we called that out, it led to this whole shitstorm of what is known as the Predator Poachers. If you can email me over the link to them videos, you can email me at sasha@onairwithsasha.com, and I'll get it to everybody that it needs to go to.
You're gonna get thousands of emails. I've never seen such a chat loving Sasha. I mean, this is look at this.
So Josh is accused of jerking off to this female.
Yeah,
man. Yeah. Alex brung it out. You know what I mean? He said basically, Josh admitted it also. You know, but yeah, he's accusing of jerking off to the female that's 17 on video, and then I guess he's saying that she used to get mad when he didn't come or something. You know what I mean? But I guess
Does anyone know that girl? Like, does the girl have an IG name? Because the only minor I ever seen that watched Josh, her name was like Carnage, and she was 16.
Nah, that's not her name. I think she's a Hispanic girl. She has a Hispanic what's her name? Alex
She
sent the
sent
name.
her topless nudes to Alex and Josh, or just Josh or Alex?
No, just Josh.
Is this allegedly? I kind of got to preface this because how
Yeah.
worried are you guys about any legal ramifications?
I'm not. No. This is not allegedly. This is
I
100%.
usually post videos of what they say from their own mouth. Typically, you know what I mean. So
Okay.
they'll try to say I slander them, and I'm like, it's not slander when it's coming from your own mouth and hitting you.
I'm in a similar battle on another side of the fence. That's my style too. So good.
Well, you also have to suffer a loss for it to be slander. And what loss can you really suffer here?
Yeah.
I mean, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna really sue me and take me to court and say, I run this channel and I use minors as my decoys and they stopped my donations? The judge is probably gonna say, good, leave it in the hands of the men and women that are trained to do this job. But I mean, what are you really gonna sue me for saying? I mean, I get where you're coming from, and everything expressed is my opinion, or
It costs a lot of money to sue.
well, yeah, I mean, it costs a lot of money to sue. Have y'all touched on the fact about Rami going live for a week straight and how the dark web had a hit out on him?
No, we're not talking about that person, Christopher.
Oh.
Mike. Just want to address that.
No, but another thing that
there is a video of that person doing that as well, but we don't want to get into that.
Yeah, another thing is that that in the video I have Alex he started showing some of his some of the postings that because diaper what's his name Josh recorded all these events on his phone, and then from there when Alex confronted him about it, Alex began to show some of these postings, you know what I mean, about their video chats and everything, and then but then only thing in reference to the girl breasts and everything, the 17-year-old girl, he said that, oh well, the girl is well developed, like I can tell you that, you know what I mean. So that goes, I guess he was referring to seeing the pictures, seeing the video of the girl topless, you know what I mean. So my thing is, if he recorded everything that Josh was showing him, you know what I mean, and Josh showed him this, then he the same thing. He had it on his phone.
Yeah, he'd be in possession of child pornography if Josh sent it over.
So everyone keeps saying Shane Coyle, which I follow him. He does prank calls now. He did a funny one in, I think, Walmart bathroom like the other day, when he's pretending to be a female. It was like yelling at him. And what about Chris Hansen? Why hasn't he been brought up on this panel tonight? I think he's kind of the OG, in my opinion, of this movement.
I mean, right now with Chris Hansen, you can get a cameo shout out pretty cheap.
Yes, you can. I know I know there was a group he teamed up with, and there was a suicide, and shit hit the fan, and it was a police officer, correct?
I'm not familiar with it. I've seen the show back in the day, a long time ago.
Yeah, it was Chris Hansen. It was a police chief or police officer.
Perverted justice.
It was the district attorney that killed himself.
Yeah, and that kind of destroyed him, and now he's doing cameo in YouTube. I'm trying to get him on. I reached out to him to be blunt. I'm trying to get him on the show sometime. But what do you guys think about what he did? I mean, and did that inspire a lot of these people now, or are there other grassroots of inspirations for these groups to become a group?
So I think it inspired a lot of them, but I feel like that. So the first place I ever heard of this predator hunting shit was through Shane Coyle, and he got it from the UK hunters. Now the UK hunters, they have great success. They have great conviction rates. They have, every person that they approach is arrested, but they're not doing, talking to somebody for 20 minutes before they go roll out and bust them. They're doing weeks upon months of grooming and grooming and grooming, and then they're using a lot more children apps. To me, and this may come out wrong or whatever, but to me, going on an adult sex app looking for a pedophile isn't really looking for a pedophile. You're looking for a horny adult. And if you want to find a pedophile, go on the Disney apps. Go on, the Nickelodeon apps. Go find the grown men that are actually really out there targeting young kids. Kids aren't 15, 14, 13-year-olds aren't downloading Grindr looking for, 50 and 60-year-old men. It's just not happening. And I can say that with confidence,
What's your take on this following statement? I want both your takes on this. I'm gonna, this isn't how I feel, but I'm gonna role play here. All that matters is at the end of the day, the predators are exposed. Who gives a shit about the way my style is? What is both of your reaction to a statement like that?
When you go to jail, don't cry.
How about you, Bustin? Oh, okay. Do you have your mic on?
If you're going out and breaking the laws just to get clicks and donations, then when you go to jail, don't cry. Rami cried for days when I got him arrested. He's still crying over the fact that I got him arrested. But you can't go out and detain people. You can't go out and hold people basically hostage. You can't force somebody to admit what they're doing. Because somebody just if they take it to trial and you're like, you have to tell me why you were here or you're going to jail, like that threatening stuff. All that their defense will be really easy. I said it in distress because I was afraid that they were gonna beat me up or whatever. So when you go to jail, don't cross spilt milk about it, because at the end of the day, everybody's trying to warn you.
Have you had any interaction with any? I mean, obviously you just had one with one of the groups, but on the show tonight. But have you had any interaction with Rami or Alex? And if so, how did it go? I'm afraid to ask.
Oh, I mean, they're all dumb fucks, and look, I have no filter, and I don't care about people's feelings. That's just me. Am I right about everything that I believe in? No, but I can tell you one thing: you go hold somebody against their will, you're going to be charged with, if not false imprisonment, kidnapping.
I'm afraid to play this, busting folks. One of these two videos. All right, I'll play one video. I'll play this one. Did you hear it? Do you hear it, Sasha? He's talking low.
She just graduated high school and shit. So, she assumed to be 18, which is fair. And, but she actually turned 18 in August. So
that was a 17-year-old you guys mentioned earlier.
Josh hit her up, and she's like, "Oh, I'm 17, by the way." So yeah, Josh is like, "Oh, okay, well, I can get 2 months in." And it seemed like she wasn't interested. And then all of a sudden, they go to Snapchat. Now, Josh is 31, living in a storage unit, or 30, living in a storage unit in Mississippi. He's not the Snapchat type, but a 17-year-old girl from California.
All right, so
yeah, I definitely believe
that prevents any lawsuits. Good job on that. I would love to. I'd love to get either of them on. That's why I wanted to have it a balanced show tonight, you know?
Josh, so they talk on an alt account on Snapchat and her main account. I have her on Snapchat too.
Someone kick that guy. Someone kick him. OG Dirty South. Someone kick him.
And then also she had an account called Big Titty Queen. I'm like, what the fuck? Well, I didn't know that, but you know, she texted Josh on that account. Yes, she framed. Yes, what's up, Steven? Yes, 17 is legal here. So I'm just like, what the hell? And you know, she sent him snaps of her tits and all that. And I'm just thinking, what the fuck? Her doing this?
He says a lot.
So let me.
He talks a
So
lot.
you're supposed to be out protecting children from being victimized by an adult. But when it's one of your own members doing it, it's the child's fault. Is that what I just heard? So let me not even get started. I'm gonna get pissed off and let me just not even get started on this.
Is that the reason why a lot of them are known for deleting their live feeds right after it's done?
Yeah, because they contradict themselves. You know what I mean? You can't say one thing today and turn. Okay, so if you notice the clip that it was in your intro video, it was with my good sister Rebecca, where Alex admits that there's underage children, and Rebecca goes, so there's two, the Latin guy and this other one, and he goes, yes. Well, now if you noticed, oh no, they're not underage children anymore. They're grown now. Sorry, you don't. I mean that video clip was just done 2 months ago. You don't turn, from 15, 16 to 18, 19 in 2 months. It don't work that way. At least not in the math that I was taught. So I mean, if there's some other math that somebody could teach me that makes that work out, then I'll be receptive to learn it. But every math I've learned, you don't go from 15, 16 to 18 in 2 months.
Yeah, the Latin guy. The Latin guy went from being 13 years old to 16 years old to 18 in a matter of 2 months.
Here's the second one you sent me.
So she's sending you all this, and then he was saying like, oh, they would video call, and she would like bounce up and down for him and all that shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? So, you know, I heard about. Then I hit her up on Instagram, and I'm like, hey, I gotta talk to you. So what happened? And I'm like, how? And she's like, oh, he sent me a video of him jacking off. He sent me a video of him jacking off. I'm like, what the fuck?
Hold on. I need to do a PSA. Guys, it's never a good idea to send anybody a video of you jerking off. It doesn't end well. Literally, pardon the pun, but it doesn't end well. I mean, what are we doing, people?
But I mean, so look, I'm the king of collecting people's nudes. So
Oh, thank God you didn't say the king of jerking off and sending it to people. I was afraid of that.
All you have to do is if you want it to get out, all you have to do is just send it to me. I'm very well equipped and capable of distributing your jack off videos.
I appreciate that because I might have one I might want to send you. It's funny you mentioned that. You might already have it though.
I hope it's not the one I've already seen.
Yeah, I did. There's a story behind that.
Well, I haven't. So I haven't seen the video, but I've seen plenty of pictures.
It uploaded it. Did you know how Messenger the video plays itself?
Yeah.
Fuck off, right? That's not fair. Like that's it didn't even give me the choice to click on it. It just played itself, and I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? No, I didn't have a choice. It played itself.
Yeah. There's this girl. Her name's Crystal Collins. She's a big time scammer on the internet, and we paid $100 for her sex video, and And I think the whole internet has seen it by now.
Who do you support on social media? Who do you rally behind? And you put a lot of effort into exposing scammers, which is awesome. Kudos to you. The light needs to be shined on that. Do you match that passion from a fan perspective on anybody on social media? And if so, who?
I have two, like, are you talking about like just anybody that I stand behind on social
What do
media?
you like? Yeah. What do you like? I mean, I clearly know what you don't like. I know two things right now that you don't like. Let's know what you do like.
I mean, yeah, there's two girls that I stand behind on Facebook, and that's because they're both veterans' wives. They both work for everything that they have. They started their little businesses with $300 PayPal loans, and now they've both turned their businesses into $1 million empires. And so yeah, I mean, I recognize the good that people do, but if you do shitty shit, then I'm gonna call you out on it.
Where do we go from here as far as goals? I mean, what's the goal? I mean, clearly, what's more important, shutting these groups down or getting the laws stronger?
So my opinion would be both. If I mean clearly, clearly we have a problem in the United States, okay? And I'll be the first one to admit that. I come from a law enforcement background for quite a few years. Um and I personally have a problem when somebody that has you know is charged with indecent liberties with a minor or statutory rape or whatever, and they're getting 6 months in prison to 4 or 5 years, and then you have first time drug dealers getting 8, 9, 10, 12 years in prison. I have a problem with that, but nothing's gonna doing this is not gonna change it. What this is gonna do is gonna make laws that say you can't do this. That's what it's gonna do. Somebody's gonna get hurt. You're teaching men that very well possibly in real life could be um um real child rapist, and you're teaching them how to do it better. If you Rami's perfect example. Every time that Rami goes out on a bus, I tell the police where he's at. Well, I'm not gonna say but somebody tells the police where Rami is. I've personally called the police on him twice. One of the times that I called the police on him, he was arrested, taken to jail. And the pedophile alleged that he was there to meet. Guess what he did? He drove home while Rami was taken to jail. That to me, that's not only an embarrassment to that's an embarrassment to he should be embarrassed for that. You can't say that I'm a child molester supporter. No, I'm a supporter of laws, okay? And the law says that you can't hold somebody against their will. When you do that, I'm gonna report it. And I don't know what your intention there is. I don't know if you're gonna, hurt this man. I see Rami and his little brothers or whoever driving around throwing up gang symbols and talking about there's weapons and um, you know, things like that. I don't know why you're keeping somebody against their will. So to me, that's a legitimate concern. I'm gonna report it to law enforcement, and it's not being a pedophile supporter. It's about to me it's kind of the pot calling the kettle black. You're calling somebody out for breaking a law, but you're doing the same fucking thing.
Final thoughts on you guys. They're both live right now, and I'm pretty sure you're going to want to go jump on that and do your thing over there. So let's get your final thoughts on the show tonight. What you guys thought about, say what you say. You and I have been on another side of the fence with a certain individual who doesn't like heat and runs as fast as he could if it ever happened. I saw the opposite with this guy. This guy stood there and took questions and answered them and was very transparent, and I gotta praise him for that.
Well, I'm coming back to that side of the fence very shortly.
Subscribe to my channel. You'll see what you've missed.
Well, Brian, he's just a dumbass. I mean, I picked up that day too of talking to him.
I learned the hard way when I did that investigation, and I was pulled off, and he wanted Masshole to do the expose. Buddies up with him, and it was crazy.
My whole thing is this. I don't ask anybody to believe anything I say. If I say something, I back it up with facts. I back it up with evidence, and 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna back it up with somebody's own damn voice. And Toronto got in here, and that's why I had to leave. The first sentence out of his fucking mouth was just a lie. And he said, I don't send dirty messages first, but you do. Like, you can't entice people to commit a crime. You can't do it. So that's why I had to leave. My whole thing is I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. So you might as well go on and pack a bag with me, boo, because we're gonna be riding the ride to see what the end got in store. And every time you do some raggedy jacked up shit, guess what? I'm gonna talk about it. So
what's on your plate for the next couple of days as far as exposés or anything like that? Any projects you're working on that you want to let us know about?
I'm working on a couple people I'm working on 2 people on Facebook right now, but I'm not gonna be putting anything out about them in the next couple of days that I can see, unless it's something totally drastic comes up. But the way I like to work is I like to compile a whole bunch of stuff and then just get it. I like to go ahead and have a investigation or have communication with police first before I go live and start talking about stuff, because you don't ever know what's going to get used and brought up in court. But I got somebody getting ready to be charged with some major fraud. I exposed him for about $170,000 of fraud. He's about to be arrested this week. I just got the notification from the police, and yeah, I mean, life is good right now. Predator Poachers want to play, we can play. I'm all down for playing.
How busy were you during the COVID, the upbringing with the COVID, with the masks being sold and the toilet paper being sold for $50 a roll and all that? Like, is that something that interests you, or are you kind of looking for the big fish, or is that considered a big fish?
So it's not really my area of expertise. I like to build stuff. Basically, the area that I like to stay in is MLMs and that arena of stuff. So I like to find the Facebook Live people that they're live, they're selling Dollar Tree stuff for $50-$60 and not shipping it out. This last one that we did, they sold a whole bunch of like purses and wallets and pocketbooks from oh god, what's some discount stores like DD's and Burlington and just them type of stores, but they were selling them for what the price would have been like in the Juicy Couture store or the Michael Kors store, and then to top it off, they weren't shipping it. So we got everybody together. I had a list of somewhere around 300 victims that hadn't received their stuff, and compiled their receipts, put it all together, made a nice little portfolio, marched my happy ass up to Pennsylvania to get to the detective, and they've been under investigation ever since. Since then, the lady has passed away. But the good thing about it was the business wasn't hers, so to speak. So um, the business owner has to be held responsible. So that's kind of where I like going.
How meticulous are you in your research, and have you ever made mistakes and thought someone was a fraud when they weren't?
Have I ever made mistakes? So the way that I set up my scammer pages is I have people reach out to me, and I always give the person that I'm targeting, I always give them an opportunity to speak to me and present their side. A lot of them won't. A lot of them will run. To me, my first clue that somebody's probably doing something wrong is when I pop in their Facebook Live and I say, I'm just like, I'm watching you. I have people that say they're victims. If you want to speak to me, message me. And then they go run and they hide. They, take their Facebook Lives to a private group or, something like that. Something's weird. Somebody that's not doing something wrong, they're not going to change up the way that they act. They're not going to change up doing normal stuff. You know what I mean?
What got you into this? Like, what got you into like growing up? Like, was there something growing up that really motivated you to be so passionate for exposing injustices? Is that a proper way of describing it? Exposing injustices?
No, I mean, so you don't. I take it you don't know my background of like what I've done in life. So
You've mentioned it a couple times about.
okay, so yeah, I mean, just the investigative part of what I've done in my previous jobs, just kind of sparked it up. And then the way that it really took off, there was a lady in Florida. She had an African gray. Her name was Gandhi. She scammed a ton of people. She took off. Well, she lived. Um, she lived on the same street I lived on at the time, and she took off from Florida, rented a U-Haul with her two sons, and took off. We followed her up the coast, up the coast, um, to North Carolina, and then back down where she got an RV in Tampa, and ended up in Key West. And then she abandoned the camper, took off. She was arrested in I want to say in California. It could have been Washington. She was from Washington, and she was going to Washington. But I really want to say she was arrested in California. I could go pull the arrest report and send it to you. But she was extradited back to Florida. She answered to charges, and now she is off the internet. She's not scamming that I know of. And she lives in Washington State. I mean, my whole thing is just make it right with people. If you fuck somebody over, make it right. There's enough money in this world to make the world go around, but there's no need to get it in dirty ways. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Well, I greatly appreciate your time tonight. I really do. Very educational, very informative. Do you have a YouTube page? I know you were doing some stuff on your YouTube page. Where do people find you? Where you're active on, and on what channel, and how can they go like and subscribe and kind of
Well,
follow?
so the Cranes have a YouTube, and it's called The Cranes. And then we have a Facebook called Cranes After Dark 2.0. And then my personal page is On Air with Sasha, and I run a podcast, an anti-MLM podcast on a Spreaker, but you can find it on Facebook on Air with Sasha. So any of them avenues really. So the Cranes on YouTube, Cranes After Dark 2.0 on Facebook, or On Air with Sasha on Facebook.
Awesome. Well, everybody, I want to thank the chat. The chat was very active tonight. I want to thank everybody for hopping on, and thank everyone for tuning in to Sancho Sunday. And everybody have a great night.